it on your nose, but it's clear. How my baby's running this a block, cause you fear what you do to you if you get dirty hands and veneer. What you do, what she is, little boy, I tell you this. If baby won't sit, she can sit. If baby says lit, it's lit. Got your bank account and that cute. If she said it loud, it's the truth. If baby wanna ride, she can ride. If baby needs some time, she got time. Got your bank account and that cute. She can make it count, how about you? She would put you in the bag, yeah. Wouldn't even need a planet. If she wanted, she a magnet. They should let her name a planet. Everything she drop like Corona, viral, make the world start over like a owner. She ain't about to set, but they really wanna throne her. Listen, she like bass, she like Hova. Self-employed, moving paper better than some Billy boy. Made a choice on the regular, she bring.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Unapologetic with Mandrell and Shushu. I am Mandrell. This is my baby sister Shushu, and we are back. We are back after someone took a hiatus. She was on the bigger and better thing. Hey,
I went to Hawaii for my birthday. Last Friday was my birthday, and I went to Hawaii for my birthday. Thank you.
That you did. You went whale watching, and
all I do is film, honey. I don't work. I'm not.
That too. That too.
That's right. All I do is film, honey.
I thought that was the case. I thought all you did was film. I didn't think you went on no vacations. How you go on vacation if you're filming? If that's all you do,
you gotta take some time for yourself.
That you do. Look who's in the chat. We got Lady Navoa and Uncle Tommy B.
Hey! What's going on, Lady Navoa?
Yeah.
Hey, Tommy B, what's going on?
He's too young to be my uncle. He's more like my little brother.
Oh,
he's a youngin. You know what I'm saying? Immature and all that.
Who youngin?
Tommy B.
Oh no. What?
I think Tommy's like 40.
Yeah.
Yeah, little brother.
Lord, you act like you so old.
I know, right?
What's going on, Cam?
What's up, candidate? Hi, candidate. How you doing?
Candidate. Oh yeah, thank you, Lady Navoa, for the birthday. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm still celebrating. I was not ready to come back, but hey, it is what it is. So,
you had a good time in Hawaii?
Indeed.
This time you went to the Big Island, right? This time.
Yeah, and it's funny because I saw a rainbow literally every freaking day. It was like, that was amazing. It was so pretty.
Bet it was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tommy. Candidate, Lady Navoa. Scam likely. That's all that's in the chat right now. So anyway, everybody, what brings us together this evening is because I witnessed a lot of dust out here on these panels. And people doing a lot of talking, but no one's doing any teaching. I know I've said that quite a few times, week after week, and I mean it. People are just doing a lot of talking. There's a lot of lip service, but no one's telling anybody how to do anything. Beautifully Animated speaks. Hello, how are you? Thank you for coming.
What's going on, Beautifully Animated? What up?
DL Saint.
What up, DL? Okay.
Von Bryant. We got people coming in now. So yeah, but no one's teaching. So, and everybody.
Oh, hey, Queen Smiley.
Hey, Queen Smiley. How are you?
Oh, Lord. Dirty folks.
Anyway, dirty folks in here. That's right. Okay. Let's get to it. Like you heard me say week after week that everyone's doing a lot of talking, no one's doing any teaching. Like for example, and this brings us to tonight's topic. Okay. Tonight's topic, we're going to talk about how men and women work together. How should they work together? Mm-hmm. And if so, how should they? You know what I mean? In our opinions, of course. Mm-hmm. So, what do you think? Do you think men and women should work together in the first place from the get-go?
Yeah. I mean, and not to bring Hawaii back up, but like, just like for instance, when I went whale watching, they give you like information and stuff like that about the whales and stuff, and they were talking about the whales come there like for mating or whatever, and like a lot of times like if female whale is like, if she's still pregnant, they're pregnant for like a year. If they're still pregnant, and they don't give birth before it's time for them to go back, because they migrate from Alaska, and if they haven't given birth before it's time for them to go back to Alaska, one of the male whales will literally like escort the mama, or like even if she's just had a baby or whatever, he'll escort the mama and the baby. You know what I mean? It's and even when you think about other animals, like in nature, like the male and the female work together, they have their own way or their own system of doing things. We as human beings, we are a part of the ecosystem also. So we're no different in that matter. But it's just for some reason, we just can't get it together.
And I think it's more so because we don't. It depends. It's the desire to, like, that men and women don't really get along in the Western world.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you've been on YouTube or you've even just been alive and don't know anything about YouTube, you've noticed this. It's kind of a misnomer on you. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
and I think one of the reasons is because men and women view each other fundamentally differently.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we also view our goals and desires differently, right?
Mm-hmm.
Men and women will interpret each other through their own individual lens. That's why when you ask one person about something in marriage or relationship, you get one answer. You ask another person, you get something completely different, because they're viewing the opposite sex through their own individual lens. You know, meaning their own experiences, what they've been through, what they've seen.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and like I said, we view each other almost wholly through our own individual lens, but not putting ourselves in the other person's shoes.
Right. Yeah.
And trying to filter through that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And so what I've noticed is that when women describe the type of man they want, it's usually desire the top guys. You know what I'm saying? Guys in the middle are largely invisible.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm saying usually, because this ain't every single solitary case, but usually, especially in these YouTube spaces, they describe without even trying to describe the top guys. And when
here's the thing about that. Jordan Peterson, I know he said in an interview once, he was like, women simply want men who are competent. You know what I mean? And even in modern times, women have started making more money, the expectation of, or the role that has been given to a man to be a provider, that expectation is still there. So therefore, like when women went to school and, you know, they got jobs and stuff like that to start paying them a certain, you know, salary, what was expected was for men to have jobs that either met that salary or was higher than that, so they could still be provider males. Deal already. But give me 1 second, deal, as soon as I finish this point. But yeah, and what ended up happening is men weren't doing that. You know, the bottom line is this, and I hate to say this,
Go ahead, come out with it.
That average guy, you know, because of like how we've been socialized by society, for most guys, you don't have to be handsome or like physically attractive necessarily to be able to pull women. And that's where you guys have an advantage, because for a woman, physical attraction is a part of your value in society, bottom line. So like, you can't do anything really. It's only so much you can do to yourself to make yourself attractive physically. That's just the bottom line, because you know, genetically,
we know genetics and the whole nine
work. But I mean, you can work 2-3 jobs, hell, and get your paper up. You know what I mean? That you can. So what I'm saying is, as a man, you can make yourself more valuable. And it's not that, you know, all women want all the men at the top. Like, yeah, they're desirable, but they're desirable because they have a certain income that they can afford to pay all the bills. So if, as a woman, she don't want to work, she didn't have to. If she wants a certain lifestyle, he can provide that. I mean, you know, any woman, you know, most women do want that. Bottom line. So, I mean, I don't know. I just guess the guys in the middle, I mean, all I can say is step your game up. Shit.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Stop right there.
Okay.
Here's the problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
There's only so many times you can slice up a pie.
Mm-hmm.
And if the top 1% is getting 80% of that pie, that leaves the last 20% for everyone else, middle and bottom.
Mm-hmm.
There's only so much of that pie you're going to get. I think that bottom line, I think our values are in the wrong place, to be honest. Yeah, and we view marriage, and I think the Western world is in a state of transition right now, where we're in a situation now where women can go and get an education and get credentials and qualifications that allows them to get a job that will pay them a higher income, right? So now women can actually afford to survive on their own.
Right.
And so having a man around for providing is not necessary. It's not necessary. It's not a must-have anymore, because they don't have to rely on you for that anymore. And largely, boys have been taught that, okay, get your resources up, you're supposed to provide and all this stuff, provide and protect, things like that, right? But no one's teaching boys how to protect. Let's be real. No one's teaching boys how to protect. No one's got their kids in karate or boxing or teaching them the mindset of how to protect, what to look out for. No one's teaching their boys how to
teach their kids how to fight this life.
Right, exactly. No, let's be real. Yeah, let's be real. No one's, and it's not even just about the fighting as far as protecting them. It's imbuing these boys with knowledge, so when they have the knowledge, they go out there and experience things, right? So when you experience things, you have a revelation,
right?
And that revelation turns that knowledge and experience into wisdom, because that's what wisdom is. Wisdom is revelation brought to fruition,
right?
So the thing is, now you have a situation where guys, and we're back to the point now, where guys are pissed off that now that women have a choice, because they don't need you for provision. Now that women have a choice, they're not choosing you. And now you're mad about it. And now you have a lot of women now coming out with these standards. Now, a lot of these women's standards are just ridiculous. 6 figures, 6 pack, 6 foot tall. Stop playing. You're fooling yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's probably not going to happen, lady.
Well, I mean, if anybody who is economically savvy, and because of the rate of inflation, righteously 6 figures is middle class.
It's middle class now. It is.
I mean, that's not
quietly,
it's not
quietly 6 figures has been middle class for a very, very long time.
Right.
People just didn't notice.
Right.
Because people in the middle, it didn't affect them. People at the bottom didn't really affect them. Now that it affects everyone, now people see, that's the thing. But that's my point. I think that we're in the middle of transition. We're in a transition state, and people are having a difficult time adjusting to the environment. Women don't need you for provision anymore. Right. So now, if a guy said it's now that that's the case, guys are wondering, and most of them don't even realize that this is what they're wondering. What value do I bring if she doesn't need me for providing anymore? Here
is where the work on you as a person and your character comes into play, because now a woman doesn't need you for financial means.
Right.
So that means that has to be something different. Not just for the sake of having like a nuclear family, but it also has to be because you're a great person. Character has to, you have to have great character qualities. In order for her to find value in having a relationship with you and value in her staying there. You know what I mean? Because if a woman can provide for herself, then, she's going to be less tolerant of certain things. Because if a woman's in a position where, and this is not just a woman, anybody for real, if they're in a position where all of their livelihood is riding on in the hands of a person, and People do this on jobs and stuff like that. Their livelihood, they paycheck on the line. So, they sit quiet when they feel like they're being disrespected or they're overlooked for something, or they're not being heard, or they're being treated unfairly, but they put up with it because their livelihood is riding on this. That's the same thing in relationships. Back in the day, a lot of women put up with a whole bunch of stuff they didn't want to put up with because their livelihood was riding on it. But now that her livelihood isn't riding on it anymore, she don't have to put up with a lot of stuff that women once did. So now that means as a man, you got to come with better quality. You got a better quality of character.
Exactly. You have to put, and again,
can we take a break and just acknowledge
why? Why?
Why?
Now it's not the time.
Didn't.
Yeah, now's not the time to interrupt the flow. We're flowing here.
I'm so done.
Jewel after jewel. Stop, DL. Not with the money. Keep sending the money. Just stop trying to stop the show. Okay, thank you very much. I don't know what in the world happened to my camera, why that happened.
Why?
Everything, there we go. Okay,
right.
now here's the thing. Yeah, okay, here's the thing. We're going to get to the Lord in a minute. Give me some time.
Okay.
We're going to get to the Lord. Then I'm put my foot up some dudes' asses, and they're not going to like that. So, okay. I think it's a lot of being taught the wrong things on both sides. Okay. Men are teaching, boys are being taught the wrong thing or nothing at all. Girls are being taught the wrong thing or nothing at all. Like take for example, today, right? Dating life today. Men see that women can get tons of sex, right?
Right, yeah.
But what they don't realize is most women don't just want tons of sex for the hell of it. They will prefer a relationship. Most women, I would say, but they don't realize that women only use that as sex as a proxy at best. It's usually an avenue just for attention.
Yeah, it is.
So when women have sex with a guy, they're like, okay, I've given him my body. Okay, now like she might catch feelings for him or be more like him more. You know what I'm saying? And she might think that, okay, this might bring him in closer to me. But but having lots of sex per se is not necessarily enjoyable, nor desirable for them. You know what I'm saying? But they do realize that as an avenue, it can get them in certain places in the world. Men look at that and think, wow, it's so easy for them to just hook up and get laid. But in reality, most women don't want just a hookup. You know what I'm saying? Or just to get laid. It is the result of certain social pressures that exists, and etc.
You right.
So from there, men are looking at women from a different perspective. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
The wrong perspective, in my opinion. All right.
Yeah, and it is the wrong perspective.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and this whole thing, like I hear a lot of people in these spaces talk about marriage is a dictatorship. In what world?
Right.
See, the thing is, here's a problem I have with that. Dictators are selfish. Right. They don't sacrifice anything. They're in power. They expect people to do what they say without question.
Right.
And if you don't, it's usually permanent consequences behind that.
Right.
It's what I say goes, and that's it. That is not the way a marriage is handled.
Right, exactly.
Like it's not. You can't get along in a marriage in that way. It's not gonna work ever. That's why you got people who divorces. You got two people who remember from the get-go, they're looking at the different genders through the lens of their own experiences.
Right. or what they've seen, and
or
that's
what they're seeing. Yeah, right. And the thing is,
part
like,
of the
how
reason why a lot of women now have no interest in getting married.
right, because you
Like,
get clown, you
marriage
got
is a
people out
trap.
here, you got people out here saying that marriage is a dictatorship, and they think, and for instance, Hebrews 13:17, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got a King James version and the New International Version. Which one you want?
Let's get the NIV.
Okay. Hebrews 13:17.
Mm-hmm.
Have confidence in your leaders and submit to their authority, because
Mm-hmm.
they keep watch over you as those who must give an account.
Mm-hmm.
Do this so that their work will be a joy, not a burden, for that would be no benefit to you.
Right.
Now, here's the thing. Here's where things get ridiculous. I hear this. A lot of people hear this and they go to have confidence in your leaders and submit to their authority, right?
Yeah.
That's it. That's where they stop.
Right.
But you didn't read the rest of it. It's not even here's the thing. It's not even another verse. It's in the same verse. The
right.
rest, everything I read, it's in the same verse, right? It says because they keep watch over you as to keep an account, right?
Right.
They're okay. The one who's leading, who's the man, right?
Mm-hmm.
He has to answer to God as to whether that marriage succeeded or failed. Whether it succeeded or failed, he has to answer to God for that.
Right. Yeah.
He has to answer for it. So if your wife or your children, if you don't stop reading the comments and pay attention.
Okay, I'm paying attention. I'm here.
Look, I don't even have you on the screen, and I know you're reading comments. That's all.
First of all, why ain't on the screen then? Why you ain't looking at me?
Because I actually covered up my notes.
Why?
Right. Now here's the thing.
You were saying
have confidence in your leaders and submit to their authority. Yes, that means that for me now, the man is the head. He's the one responsible. This says responsibility. You're responsible for your wife.
Right.
Okay. You're responsible for your children. They are your responsibility.
Right. Yeah.
They're slaves. They're not your subordinates. They're not citizens of your empire.
Mm-hmm.
No. He's the one who answers. Again, he's the one who answers for the pass or the fail. Right. Now, here's where I think the best avenue to go to when it comes to marriage is synchronicity. You and your wife are supposed to be in sync, in synchronous.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And it takes a while for two different people to get there, but that should be the goal. Now, me as the husband, I'm gonna point us in the right direction. I'm gonna point us in the direction, right? I said, this is what I want for our marriage, right? Here's the direction I want us to go financially. Here's the things I want us to do for recreation, things like that, right? So I believe you should still be dating when you're married. So every Saturday, you and your wife can go and do something together. You know what I'm saying? Go on a date every Saturday or Friday night, or maybe Friday and Saturday night. You know what I'm saying? And keep things interesting and go out and travel once or twice a year.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In between little trips you take. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. And so if the woman's like, okay, I'm okay with that. I have to keep us on track. Okay. Here are the things we need to do in order to be able to achieve these things. I'm telling her this is the things we need to do to achieve these things, right? Okay, this is what we have financially. Okay, if we can't afford it, all right, we need more resources. How do we do this? Okay, I'm good at these things. I'll get a second job doing X, Y, and Z so we can afford, and we use that money towards either savings or save towards a trip or whatever. You'll get a second job doing X, Y, and Z, you know what I'm saying? Or not get a second job, you take care of these things over here. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have to worry about that. So everybody pulls their weight.
Right, yeah.
I'm the one to, Now, here's the thing. If the woman sees where, okay, I think it would work better if we did that, but did some of these things this way, it'd be more efficient. Now, as a leader, I can't walk around in my ego.
Right, exactly.
I can't walk around in my ego. If she gives me an idea and it's a good idea, a better idea than mine, then that's what I need to go with. Just because it's not my idea doesn't mean make it a bad idea. You got to get out of your feelings, fellas. And a lot of these guys in these spaces, the shit gets toxic because they read this passage and other passages and other chapters and verses
Hold
like
on.
this.
I just want to take a second to acknowledge this. Lucchese says marriage should not be this complicated, and she is absolutely right.
She's absolutely right. Thank you.
Not be that complicated. Like,
she's absolutely right.
You know, and speaking of complicated, I think we just, as people, just make things more complicated than they have to be. You know what I mean? Like just in, even before you get to the marriage phase, like people make relationships more difficult than they have to be. Like for what? Like something so simple as, like, you know, when you're getting to know one another, like once you know what pushes my buttons, once you know something that upsets me or gets on my nerves, like stop doing it. Don't do it.
Right.
And it's just that simple. And that's just for the man and woman. If I know something gets on your nerves, then I'll stop doing it because I know it gets on your nerves. But like what people do is they still do things that still upsets their partner or whatever, because it's just like it's still just the all me concept.
Well, exactly. That's the whole thing behind. That's what the whole thing. What I'm talking about when guys say it's a dictatorship. Now, if you fellas, you find a woman out there who's looking for that, I salute. Good for you. It ain't for me. I don't want a robot.
Right.
I don't want someone who's just gonna do what I tell them to do just because I told them. No, I need feedback. I need you to give me some ideas. I'll do the legwork.
Right.
I'll do the work so you don't have to, but throw me some ideas here. I can't do all the work and then think for us both too.
Right. And that's a lot. That's a lot. And then you find yourself frustrated, and for what? And wonder why you're frustrated, because, you know, I think it when you have a dynamic like that, where the majority of the weight is on one side, of course, it's going to bring more pressure and more problems into a relationship, because it's one-sided, really.
Well, here's the thing. You know, here's the thing. You also have to keep in mind this. That pendulum. Hold on. That pendulum of stress and pressure, that's gonna swing side to side from the husband to the wife. There's gonna be times where 70% of the pressure is gonna be on the man's shoulders, and 30% is gonna be on the woman's. There's gonna be times where it may be 60-40 the other way. The woman's carrying more the load than the man. That's the ebb and flow, back and forth. But the thing is, the two of you are in synchronous with one another. You like, say you're married to your husband, and then now, for whatever reason, a lot of the pressure is on you now, right? It doesn't bother you because you know that he sees that and he's going to make it temporary. He's not going to let it stay there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's going to come back and take that load because it's his responsibility. Because it ain't fit. It just, for me, it ain't. Pressure's meant for shoulders, not hips. And yeah, we're human. So, ladies, it ain't always going to be all the pressure. Most of the pressure ain't always going to be on his shoulders.
Here's the thing about that. There's all kind of pressure.
Yeah, there is.
But so that whole idea of pressure is made for shoulders, not hips. Like, you know, women have their pressures too. It's just that, and that's a problem too. Like, we get so caught up in who has so much more responsibility, whose role is more important.
And it don't even matter.
Who does this more, who does that more. Like, you know, if we're working together. Like,
then what does it matter if we're working together?
Right.
Because both people's jobs is equally as important. Well, no, I do this and I do that. So, nigga, I mean, like, she's doing other stuff too. She's probably doing stuff you don't even see.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't know that. So before you go off screaming about, well, you know, I do this and I don't see her doing this, you don't. A lot of times you don't see.
When you get caught up in this mindset that my role is so much more important than yours, you tend to devalue
the other part, the other person. Yeah.
Bring to the relationship.
Get these.
So I mean, you know, it's just never good to get in that mindset, like you know, of I'm so much more, or what I have, or what I do is so much more important than the other person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now here's a question for you. Hebrews 13:17. What do you think of it? What do you hear when you hear that?
I mean, I hear the scripture.
Duh. We know that.
Okay.
You know, you hear the script. I read it. Of course I heard it. But what is your interpretation of that?
Well,
You want to go line by line? Let's go line by line.
If you want to, if this is applying solely to relationships, correct?
And marriage.
And yeah, marriage is a relationship.
Yeah.
It's more of a serious or long term.
It's a commitment
relationship, but
and a covenant.
Right.
Yeah, it's not just a regular relationship.
Right.
It's way more than that.
Right. Here's the thing. I don't have a problem with the word, like with authority. Someone quote unquote leading, or even quote unquote submitting, because I'm a team player. But here's the thing: when you talk about submitting, the definition of submit means to yield to, yield to an authority or whatever.
That's exactly what it says.
Or just to yield, period.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that. But
we only got an hour and a half.
I'm just trying to make sure I put this, because I don't want nobody to come from my neck talking about some.
It says 10 minutes. Okay, have confidence in your leaders and submit to their authority.
Yeah, but here's the thing: submitting doesn't mean submitting to anything or yielding to anything,
right?
Giving in to anything,
right?
So like I said, I'm all a team player, and I get it. The man, he want to be the head of the household, fine, but I'm all for making this thing work. But please know, when you're wrong, I'm gonna let you know you're wrong. So I ain't gonna let you drive us. See you taking us right to a cliff and let you drive us out. Clearly not. We're not.
Okay, well, the thing is, you're supposed to tell him when he's wrong. Mm-hmm. That's what a wife does. That's a part of what a wife does.
Right. Yeah.
That's why I said this whole thing about it being a dictatorship. I'm not with it, because if I'm going in the wrong direction, I'd much rather you tell me, "Hey, you're going the wrong way," as opposed to just sit there and watch me run into a wall,
right,
or fall off a cliff.
Right.
I see. What I noticed is a lot of people are doing that. They watch their husbands fall right off of a cliff. Don't say anything. That's because they already got their bags packed and they jumped off the train.
Well, that's because the husband don't want to be told nothing.
Well, in a lot of cases, there are.
Don't know or don't understand what being a leader is. They don't know the difference between a leader and a dictator. They don't know the difference. And here is where you have to be careful with these words, and you have to be clear about them. And a conversation should be had before you even make that commitment, so you both know you're on the same page. Because here it is, you can have two people talk about, okay, well, a man asks a woman, do you believe in the man being head of household? Yeah, I do. Do you believe in man leading a relationship? Yeah, I do. But the follow-up question should be, what is your idea of a leader? What is your idea of head of household? What do you believe head of household means, and what is the responsibility? Because your idea and that other person's idea can be two totally different ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And here it is, y'all having issues because y'all on two totally different pages and you don't know it.
Okay, now let's get to Black Man Afoot to put something in the chat. He says he put down Ephesians 5:23, right? For the husband is the head of the wife, as Christ is the head of the church, his body, of which he is the Savior.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, I get it. The husband is the head of the church, right? The husband is the head of the wife, right? Mm-hmm. Just as Christ is the head of the church. Got it. But understand that there's so many examples in the Bible of because most people are Christians, Black people at least, right? Mm-hmm. And then they try to use the Bible to support their ridiculous claims. Mm-hmm. I'm in charge. I'm the man. You do what I say. No. Husband is a servant's role. It is the ultimate servant's role. The ultimate servant's role. Let me finish.
No, but because before you go on your tirade, I just want to throw this in there.
And you haven't?
Also in that passage, it says 4 times, love her. Love her. Love her.
As Christ loved the church.
Her. Love her.
I'm getting to that.
But people tend to overlook that. Now go ahead.
Yeah, you love her as Christ loved the church, right? It says it over and over again. Now, what did Christ do for the church?
He gave his life.
He died, exactly. How many of these guys out here you think really willing to do that?
Please.
If you're willing to do that, you're willing to forgive a lot of things your wife would do to you.
Right.
Because if you love her, that's what you're going to do. Love is very much so, love is very much so forgiving.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's grace.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's sacrificial.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So as head of the household, you got to be willing to sacrifice a lot.
Yeah.
And it doesn't come with the mentality of a dictatorship or a king.
Right.
Because here's the thing as a king is supposed to sacrifice himself for his kingdom.
Right.
He's the head, he's the governing body.
Yeah.
But he's
captain of the ship is supposed to go down
with the ship.
Like he's supposed to make sure everybody else is safe. They on the life rafts.
Y'all get off first.
If there ain't enough life rafts, then I'm going down with this.
Women and children first.
Right.
I'm supposed to be the last one to get off this ship.
Right.
My wife and my children get off on the ship first. It's very much so a sacrificial role.
Mm-hmm.
Both parties need to understand all this. You know what I'm saying? If you're the husband, that means you have the top spot, right?
Mm-hmm.
That means that you're the first servant.
Right.
It's a servant's role. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Why we didn't drop the link yet?
He did.
He did. I mean, I guess, I don't know why.
Hi, Scam.
What's going on? I smell dust.
Oh, no.
My sister and I having a conversation. Come back later.
I'm so done.
This is what I'm talking about.
Wait.
And he's lost. He can't follow the conversation for some reason. Now watch, he comes up here and can't find one point out of here that he agrees with.
Hey, listen,
Okay, Dusto, what's the dust? Since y'all in such a hurry to get to whatever this is about to be.
No, I don't got a whole bunch of pushback, but my only thing is the talking points and the robotic, like Taru said, it sounds robotic.
It does.
It's supposed to be over here, and the woman's supposed to be over there. If anything goes on, the man. That's not realistic. At the end of the day, they're people. First thing is people got to be attracted to each other. But YouTube will keep telling you, protect and provide, protect and provide. Women aren't checking for dudes 6'9" and going to the gym looking for men.
Right.
Swinging swords. Here's the deal. In 1982 or 1426, when there was Romans chopping heads off, protection was very important. You might get your head chopped off.
And today we have a police force. Women can buy guns. They can take self-defense courses.
And it's not, even if it were realistic, and they need protection. If they don't want it, it doesn't matter. Because people do what they want to do, not what they need to do. That's why people look the way they look. Anyway, then aside from being appealing and attracting, then it becomes a connection thing. Can you communicate and make this woman smile? Because I hear all this junk in these panels and all the protection. They need to make $358,000. The money did. Then it carries on the data with 37.2% of the men. Here's the deal. The woman or man and woman have to realize, I have to spend 8, 12, 14 hours a day, sleep, eat, drive long distance with this person. Meaning if they don't like you and they can't even stand being on the phone 5 minutes, all that protecting, provision, all that goes out the window.
It's out the window. But we're talking about beyond that. Dusto. We're talking about when people. The context of this conversation is when you're in a relationship or marriage. We're past these people are found each other attractive, they liked each other, good conversation. Now we're in the relationship or marriage. Now the ideologies actually have to work together.
Okay, what I'm saying is that is 80% of the working together. That's a big part of it, and they talk more about the 20 and 30.
I agree.
Meaning the leading and following and all that. Trust me, two people really can't live without each other. They're gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
Hey, Mandrell, can I say this and I'll meet coming from a guy who's married.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to troll, but I want to keep it 100% real.
Mm-hmm.
I will die for my family tonight. I would die for them tomorrow. I would have died for them yesterday. That's what I do. And anything that I think that people have to decide what they believe. And if you are a Christian and you believe in the Bible is very black and white on what marriage is.
Yeah, it is.
And the mistake that we make in marriages are that we'll start believing in marriage and get married, but we don't want to deal with the consequences of marriage. The Bible is very clear, and I think people get married, they might as well say if you're not going to follow it, why go to the church? Why get married in front of your family if you're not going to follow the instructions? Because there's a blueprint of what marriage is. And when people say there's no roles and women, the world has changed. But at the end of the day, a woman can carry a gun, but right now, if I were to go in there with my wife and I was an intruder of this house, my wife does have a gun. Yes, she does go to the gun range and shoot. But I know for a fact if a guy my size would have overwhelmed my wife very quickly before she can pull it out of her purse, she's done.
Right.
She's done. And so at the end of the day,
that does not mean she got to put up with your.
Hold on, Tyrus. Hold on, Tyrus. Stop.
I'm gonna drop. Hey, Tyrus, if you coming up there with that shit tonight, bro, I'm gonna pull you down.
Thank you. I mean, we
down.
That kind of part is obvious.
No, because Tyrus is a female. He's more of a feminine traded man.
Okay. Well, don't let him get off your point.
Okay, I'm getting on my point. What I'm saying is people have to understand that in marriage, you put up with your shit. We're not going to go to extremes. I'm talking about me and my family, how I am with my wife and my children. Right? I will protect them at all costs. There is an order to this thing. My wife cannot walk around trying to be like me, and I can't walk around trying to be like her. It's unnatural for me to act feminine with my wife, and it's unnatural for my wife to act masculine with me. It is black and white, and if we're not going to follow what the word says and we're not going to abide by it, then stop believing in something that you're not trusting to be the foundation of your union. Everybody, the thing that I'm going to say this and I'm done. The thing that bothers me the most is people say, well, that's what works in your marriage. That don't work in everybody else's marriage. Wait a minute. But if we're all Christians and we're following the same book, why do we have a difference in the blueprint of what we're doing?
All I'm saying, black man. But here's the thing, and
come on now.
Here's the thing.
But I'm gonna let Tom's big head ass back.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, okay, gotcha. Now, like I say, me personally, and I'm gonna pass the mic to the rest of the panel after this. Being a husband is a sacrificial role. It's a service role. You operate in service to your family. Y'all can call it blue pill, call it simp, whatever you want. But that's fact of the matter is that's what it is. And I think that a husband should be willing to. Oh, we ain't going to disagree. I think that a husband should be willing to sacrifice himself, his life, for his wife and his family. That's what it is. If you don't have that mindset, if you don't have that, there's plenty of people that disagree. But if you don't have that kind of mindset, I don't think you should jump the broom.
And Mandrell, I agree with you moreover. And I'm going to say, I swear to God, I'm done. Anything that God has, if this is for believers, because everybody don't believe. I'm not trying to force what I believe down people's throat. But anything that God gives you authority over, you have to have some type of control over it. You can't, that's like the police officers. They have authority to arrest you. If you get out of line, they have to put you back in line. Not necessarily taking your life or beating you to death, but they speak with authority. They say, hey, ma'am, stop, pause, put your hands up, right? Because they want us to remain safe. And so some men say, hey, listen, when I tell my wife something and we're out and I sense danger or something's coming toward my wife or something's happening toward my wife, like the other night, we had tornadoes all over the place in Texas. And I told my wife, say, baby, outside the lights went out, wind picking up, stuff flying down. I said, oh my God. I said, baby, and we go get the kids in the bathroom. Get them in the bathroom. I want you to stay there. I'm going to go back out. I told my oldest son, stand at the door. We have protocol and strategy of what we do. Now, what do I look like not giving my wife and my children that instruction? Now, what if I had a woman that thinks she's equal to me, say, no, I'm going outside with you. Me and you going outside together. I ain't going to stay up here with your kids.
And then you can, and black man, how are you supposed to deal with the problem outside if you're worried about her?
Exactly.
That's the thing.
Her safety means everything. So that means I know where she is, because men like to have the control of the situation. I knew where my kids were. I knew where my wife was. I knew they were in an environment where they were safe. So if I have to get to them very quickly, I knew where they was. I can shoot to them real quick. But if we're scattered everywhere and there's no structure and I'm out of place, we all could die.
Right. And I like to address a comment Candidate said. Candidate says we don't need no more black men dying. Candidate, I agree with that wholeheartedly. We don't. However, sacrificing your life is a part of it.
The rest of what she said.
What does she say?
Let me scroll up and find it.
And Mandrell, when you get a moment, bro, I just want to make 3 points and I'm gonna jump off the panel. I just want to say 3 things.
I live for your yeah, she says live for your she says live for your family. Yes, you're supposed to live for your family. However, you still need to be prepared to do this if the occasion calls for it. You do. Okay, let's go next. Who else? DL Saint, you wanted to go first?
Yeah, I'll go for. I just want to say 3 things, and I'm going to jump off and continue to watch. This is a great topic. Shushu, good to see you. So glad you're back. Did you bring back my little umbrella? That's all I want to know. We'll talk about that later. I asked you to bring one thing back, just one little umbrella. I want to see if you brought that back. But your pictures were amazing. Yeah, I did see those rainbows you were talking about. I'm glad you had a good time. You earned that, love. You earned it. All right, here's the thing. Great topic. Great topic. I just got 3 points, right? Y'all know I'm not religious like that. I'm your friendly neighborhood heathen. But if you're going to live that life, you must choose wisely. You must choose godly. So if you don't do that, and that's your life, and you wind up with the wrong one, if you wind up with the guy who made you feel worldly, right? You know, because he made you feel a certain way, he blew your back out. But that's not the one that your God wanted you with. That's not the one that God's like, yes, God wills it. We need to be together. If you chose poorly, then you get what you get. Now, today, because most people aren't even into religion. Here in America, people are going away from religion in the West in general. So like I'm somewhere in the middle. There's no leadership. People don't want to work for anything anymore, right? No one wants to work on anything. They want cookie cutter. There's a lot of women out here that I meet talking about they want to be married, but they don't want to be wives, right? There's a lot of women out here who want the wedding day, but they don't want to put it in the work to have the family and do what they need to do. You know, so and I think that's because people here in America are surrounded by the lost. They're surrounded by people that want you to be as miserable as they are because misery loves company. Whenever I hear people, men and women, you say what you want about the passport bros, but there's plenty of women who are going off to going off to Africa, to all these different countries, and they meet these men and they stay in Africa and they get married and they're successful. You got these men who leave America. They go off to Colombia or the Philippines or whatever. They meet these women. They get married and they're successful. What's the common denominator? They left here. They left here. It doesn't matter where you go. Russia, you know, I don't care where you go. Australia, hell, if you go down to Antarctica and fall in love with a penguin, wherever you go. The thing is this, they left here. They left their circle. They left those people who were probably giving them the wrong advice. Right. So, and I'll just leave it there. There are a lot of people here that are just miserable and they don't want you to be happy. And we talk about vetting women when you want to get into a relationship. We talk about vetting men when you go into a relationship. I hope y'all vetting those people sitting next to you. I hope you vetting those people who you go to for advice, especially if you're not going in church. And if you're going to church, I hope you vetting the right church. There's a lot of bad churches out there. That's why I walked away from it. As a gangster, as a true G, as a player, I'm like, man, these preachers got more game than me. They getting in everybody's pockets. You know what I mean? I ain't saying that across the board about all the churches, but the ones I was seeing, I'm like, bro, I'm not even cool with taking that kind of money. You know what I mean? But I just wanted to get those 3 points out there, and I'm going to watch the rest, from the comfort of my living room, sipping on whatever it is I'm sipping on. Good night.
All right, DL. Thank you for coming. Next, we're going to go with Corey and then Tarus. After him, Simon. What's up, Corey?
How you guys doing?
How you doing, Corey?
I'm doing good. Me and DL are the same age. We're 50, early 50s. There's one thing that this actually cracks me up because I was married 27 years. I divorced her. But today we have this, I'm a Christian, I want to do it this way. Well, wait a minute. You're either a Christian or you're not a Christian because you can't do it your way and then claim to be a Christian. It's two conflicting ideas.
Amen.
You got one is a diagram of what to look for in a husband and what to look for in a wife. But you got men chasing Instagram models. You got women chasing status and a life of leisure. They want a husband, they want children, but they also want a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, but I never seen anywhere in the Bible where it said retirement. I never seen anywhere where it said life of leisure. I never seen any of that. Men were told to love their wives. Wives were told to respect their husbands. Men see respect as love. That's how our brain works. But today we have such a materialistic female population in Western culture that they will not submit unless he has the material needs they require, even though they're put in the workforce where they are given special treatment above and beyond the men because of our current laws. Okay, so now everybody can say they're a Christian, but nobody wants to walk that walk because it ain't fun, because you got to be real and you got to look at yourself in the eye genuinely. So now you got these pretenders, the great pretenders, and it's on both sides of the board. Everybody's trying to impress. Men are looking for the Instagram model, that arm candy because it looks good in public. Women are looking for status and a life of leisure because it looks good in public. So we're all becoming materialistic. Well, the Bible clearly says you can't serve God and mammon both.
Right.
Mammon was the name of a god in Syria that was about money that was gotten by ill-gotten means. I mean, how many men go out there and swindle women into getting married and they're not what they thought they were? They're a fraud. How many women do the same exact thing to men? Nobody's honest and upfront anymore. And these are two big things you never want to do. Never gaslight your partner, your spouse in a fight. Never nag your spouse in a fight. You just set off a nuclear warhead in the middle of your relationship. You don't have one anymore. Now you've got a competition.
Right.
Marriage is not about competition. Marriage is about friendship. And for me, I got two things I'm going to follow: spiritual compatibility and personal attraction. Because you're either on it or you're not. And all this other stuff of getting caught up. Okay, at my age, women are not mysterious anymore. I'm just going to say it. I'm 52. I got grandkids. There's no
Is
mystery.
mysterious part of a Christian value in a wife? Is that in the Bible?
The what?
What's the question?
Is mysterious a requirement for women to have in the Bible? To be mysterious?
No,
I'm waiting for
not
the
at all.
punchline.
The
So
Bible-
I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out why
What?
you guys keep going in and out of this Christian stuff and then
Well,
not Christianity.
Well,
stuff.
because the Bible said the Bible says for us, for that who believe, Tyrus, and we have to be respectful to what we each other believe. And my thing is,
I agree, but if you're going to say you're a Christian, then that means you should be
Truth.
100% Christian, right?
Truth.
That means divorce is not an option.
Hang on. Terus, are you a Christian?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so
Then why are you asking questions about
Exactly.
Christianity?
Because if you're going to call yourself a Christian, then
But you're not
you
an
need to be held
authority
to the
on
standard of a
You're
Christian,
not an
correct?
authority on Christianity.
Okay, hold on. We
You're
talking
not-
about
Clearly, you're not either. But clearly, you're not either.
Tyrus, let's stay focused. Let's stay focused on the task at hand.
I'm trying. I'm
Can I
trying.
ask?
I'm trying.
Oh,
This is
man.
what it says. This is what it
Never
says,
mind.
guys. It says, what a wife is for a man, and then I'm gonna let you guys cook. It says,
Can I
he
ask a
who
question?
findeth the wife find it a good thing, right? When you find her, she's already that. So there's no mystery to who she is, because he says when you find her, she's already a wife, right?
I think what Corey meant when he says there's no mystery like to women anymore is like the virtuous, women being like more reserved,
right.
A bit more classy,
Right.
carrying themselves a certain way.
Agreed.
Why are we getting this image, Shushu? Just to be fair, are we just getting this image from social media or real life?
Real life.
Because I don't see that in real life. I see a bunch of women walking around classy in real life. I'm trying to figure out where y'all see this at.
Tyrus, hold on a second, Tyrus. It's probably because you're shopping in Uptown. What I'm talking about is this is a huge world, and the majority of women,
I know.
and it's a huge world, and I wish we could all travel it and enjoy it. But while we're here, we have to be realistic. There are classy women like Shushu right now. Shushu is very classy. She's beautiful. She's educated. She's smart. She goes and does her job. She's on her business, man. That's what she does.
That's great, but are you saying the majority of women are not virtuous?
Hold on. We got Coach K. We got security ball. We got all type of different women. Candid Ann, who's a nurse. There are very beautiful, classy women out here. So we're not negating that. What I'm saying to you is, but that we do have younger, and I'm not talking about older women. That's our age. I'm talking, we do have to reach back. Our women have to reach back to our girls. Our men have to reach back to our young men. And we have to start changing the narrative right now, because these young girls right now, like most nurses will tell you, 12, 13, 14-year-old girls are in the ER having children. And so we need to reach back and say, little boy, you can't do this to young women. Young women, you can't present yourself like this, because like I teach my daughters, perception is reality. When a man sees you, he's going to already judge you based on how you look to him, because men are visual, women are emotional. So when a man sees a woman, he says two things: damn, why I tear that ass up tonight, or man, I wonder who is this? I need to get to know who this woman is. So we have to look, we have to be realistic about where this world is going. And if you don't know where it's going, get you a TikTok subscription, get you a Facebook subscription, get you an Instagram subscription, or you can go to the real urban neighborhoods in your town or your city, and you'll be able to see girls twerking on cars that's 12, 13, 14 years old.
BM, I'm gonna say this. No. I gotta say this. BM, as respectful as I can, when you talk about see where the world is going, I need you to put down social media and start looking at real statistics. Because if you did, you would know that you need a software update. Because my wife is a RN, and no, they aren't seeing those women in the emergency rooms. You want to know why? Because the birth rates are at an all-time low, which means women are keeping their legs closed. Women are having less kids. Women are having less sex with less men. The stats do not support anything you're saying about women and children right now.
They're getting stuck. Let's be real.
Oh, okay, cool. Hey, got it. Hey, got it. Hold on, fellas. Let's reel it in. Okay, we ain't signing. To my understanding, you have not gone yet. I'd like to hear what you have to say. Then we're gonna go with JT.
So let me clarify. So we're talking about a marriage from a Christian standpoint, or just getting people married?
Just marriage, period. We're giving our points of view and our perspective and things like that. Okay. You know, yours might be different.
Understood. Well, I'm not a Christian, so I can't speak to that. I follow the Hebrew roots. So in our understanding and practice, you can get divorced. So I can only speak to that. And number one, I think that we need to start letting people be free, right? I think marriage and monogamy is a thing of the past, right? I think now it is short-term monogamy. For example, I'm dating girl A this 4, 6, 7 months. Mandrell is dating girl B 6, 7 months. And maybe later when we get tired, we swap a little bit, right? I drink champagne off her ass, right? Or maybe she gets her butt eaten out. But at the end of the day, it's thing of the past, right? I think we're in the village times era.
Why?
Right.
What? Whatever it is, I ain't signing either.
No.
Hear me out.
Let's hear it.
We're having less and less marriages. We're having less and less childbirths, right? They want the wedding, but not the commitment. Men are not getting married because they're terrified of the system. So let's just get fucking free. Right? Am I wrong?
Hey, BM. Hey,
In my
I
opinion,
lean more to you now, bro. Not
yeah,
after
here's the
hearing
thing.
this, bro, I lean more.
We ain't signing. In my opinion, I think you are. For some people, that's gonna work. And for me, marriage is not a thing of the past. That might be the way the world's turning. Here's the thing. That might be the way the world's turning. But that's something that's not for me. I'll say that.
Christian, is America not Sodom and Gomorrah?
No.
So let's
Not
get
yet.
weird with this motherfucker then and let them enjoy. And I pass the mic.
Anyone else?
And I'm not trolling. I'm being super serious.
We know. We know. We know. He's not trolling, Tarus. He's just serious.
The dust panel will be on starting at about 11 o'clock. You might want to reserve a spot.
Oh Lord.
Right? Everybody says America, Sodom and Gomorrah. We lost our morals. We lost our way. So let's dive deep in this motherfucker. Go, do the damn thing. Let's not fuck around.
Why? That is fucking around.
Why? Okay.
Hey, at least he's a man of action. I'll give him that.
That's true. And we're gonna move on. On that note, we're gonna segue over to JT from the What We Know podcast. JT, you've heard the show. Hopefully, you heard it from the beginning. What do you say about what you've heard tonight so far? What do you think?
Okay, so because when I came on, man, we was on some other stuff. Are we talking about the women and men still getting together? Are we still talking about?
We're talking about the men and women. They've gotten together. Now, how do you operate?
There we go. That's what I heard before I was trying to get on. Was they gotten together, right? So what we're trying to do is maintain from there, right? Try to evolve into what we call purpose, right? The vessel of purpose. Because if we're talking about marriage, that's what marriage is. It's about purpose. I had put it in the chat. It's about purpose. It's about duty. And it's probably more than one purpose. It's like I talked to my mom earlier this week, and we were talking about why do we do what we do on this earth? Why are we together? Why do we have, family? Why is it where it starts, woman and man, and all these different things? And one of the things that we had came across was that it's because it's bigger than us, the individual. Mm-hmm. Like my existence has little to do with me. It has more to do with the duty of teaching, being able to give to others, and all these different things. So it's the same thing with being in a marriage. What are we being together? What are we trying to do? Are we trying to just be together so we can go on trips and be happy and all these different things? No, that sounds selfish, don't it? Isn't it more of to create so the next generation can have a better chance than we had? Isn't it to be able to teach them the things that we probably didn't get? Like I hear a lot of men say, I've given my kids something that I've never had, right? I hear a lot of men saying that. My mother and my father said the same thing. They both were on that also. I want to give y'all something that I want to give you guys to have an opportunity that we didn't have. So it means that when we are having this whole thing called a union, wouldn't it be more than just us? When you hear people talk about relationships, don't they always talk about it from a selfish standpoint? I want to be happy. I want to do this. I want to do. It's all about them, but it's not. It's less about the other people. It's less about their own kids.
Yeah, it's less about the team.
So it should be more about other people and less about ourselves, because we are the purpose. I'm the purpose. My wife will be the purpose. Guess what would be the purpose for? Not just our kids, but for grandkids, great grandkids. Long after we're gone, we should teach them to be purpose for the next generation and next people. It's the same thing that when you go to work, is you're not just going there just to get a paycheck. Trust me, if you was just going somewhere to get a paycheck, you've been done quit. Some people have been working for 20, 30 years. is some type of purpose. They're the purpose there. They find purpose behind it. So if we're talking about this relationship type of thing, isn't it that we should be talking about duty and purpose more than being happy and satisfied and all these? That's why it sounds so damn complicated, because we're talking about too many other things. We put money in it. We putting all these different things in it, and we're not actually talking about what is purpose, what is duty.
Right, and happiness is temporary, my brother.
I disagree.
It's temporary. And hold on, before you go, happiness is temporary. How many times have you been happy when you got out the bed, when you hit your goddamn toe on the end of that bed, you became something else? Happiness is temporary. It ain't, if you're married for 28 years, you know what? If a married man and a married woman came on my panel right now and said, we've been married for 28 happy years and we just happy, I would say you a goddamn lie. In 28 years, you have been mad, you've been pissed off, you've had death, you've had loss, your children have been crazy, your husband have been crazy, your wife have had crazy moments. Everybody goes through motions, and like Mandrell said earlier, there's a balance between the husband and the wife, and they have to keep that balance. And when somebody stops keeping that balance, the boat turns over. So we have to realize what JT is saying. He's absolutely 100% correct. You're going to follow it or you're going to try to redo it. That's why we have so many movies right now. Nobody has creativity. And this is for Shushu. Shushu knows about the movie industry. Why we have so many reboots? They're rebooting everything old because what was old worked. Right? There's no action movies out there like Commando no more. There's no action movies out there like Cobra with Sylvester Stallone no more, or Bloodsport. All these movies that cleaned your spirit, and you look at them 30 years later and you still enjoy them. They're rebooting them because they can't come up with any other creativity, and that's what's going on right now.
And the reboots suck.
And they suck.
The reboots suck.
Suck ass.
Yeah, look at the reboot to RoboCop.
Can I add something else before I get up out of here?
RoboCop was a treadmill.
But
yeah.
Can I add something else before we
go ahead?
So one of the reasons why I say that, like I said, me and my mom, we were talking, and one of the things that brought it up is because my father right now he's suffering from dementia, right? And my mom is really going through it. She's really going through it. And that's kind of like a little bit why you guys ain't really seeing me on and stuff like that also. But my whole thing was talking to her. It made me go to, damn, it had to be purpose. Because these two people been together, it's about to be 54 years now. And we're talking about they've been happy, sad, upset, mad, pissed off. They done bought houses and cars, went on trips, went to Vegas, did all these different things, had parties, used to ride motorcycles, all these different things. And now it's at a point where she's like, I got to repurpose my life because I'm losing my husband. And it's crazy because me looking at my father at one point, that man was the strongest man to me, right? Mm-hmm. And I had to start reflecting on what is all this about. He invested in my mom. Whatever it is he have to do, like I had to show my father I had to tie his shoe. I remember when he taught me how to tie my eyes. He's not walking and all these different things is not happening with him. My mom ain't going crazy. I'm not going crazy because they had purpose, right? They had purpose. And we're trying to get to this whole thing because I've always told people, I think the most heartbreaking thing it is for us all to experience, every one of us on earth, and if we're privileged to, is to experience heartbreak at that magnitude. That's actually a privilege to do it. But people are so scared in life where they don't want to do that. They don't want to have to experience losing someone that you've been around all your life. That's a heartbreak that we all experience. Some people try to mask it thinking that they look weak or They're vulnerable, and they're not allowed to be. I think we all are. We all should be able to experience this. So when we're talking about this whole thing of marriage, people treat marriage as if you're going to a sports club and you join in a yacht club or some shit like that. That's not what this is about. This is about purpose. It's about duty. It's about actually, what do you give in this unit, not what you get out of it. You're going to get a whole lot out of it if you put yourself into it and you find purpose in more than one. But I think I just wanted to share that, man, because I see it firsthand of this whole thing of marriage. I'm talking about, from what I can remember my parents, I've seen them, and I probably said this before, I've seen my parents grow up. I've seen my parents at 27, 37, 47, 57. Now they're in their 70s.
And JT, just imagine, like my grandmother took care of my grandfather when he got really, really sick, and your mom dealing with that situation with him being really, really sick. Imagine if our grandmothers were just in it just to be happy. They asses would be gone.
Right.
They will be gone.
Yeah, and JT, to what you said is, hold on, wait a second. To what you're saying, you're right on time with that, because I think that's something that people need to hear. It is about duty. I
just want to ask something, if I may. I want to add something to the equation, because I know that everybody thinks I'm, just trolling or just weird or odd, whatever. But at the end of the day, people are not looking for how to be married, right? Where we're having these conversations as if people are looking for the solutions. They're not. Everybody knows what it means to be married. Everyone knows what it takes to be married. There's still the old folks around, right? We still have 7-year-olds, 6-year-olds that will tell you what is necessary. People don't want that anymore. When we look at the super chat, she says monogamy and polygamy doesn't work. But look at our culture. 60% of our women who have children by multiple men. 30% of American men are raising children that they don't even know it's not theirs. That does not scream to me monogamy. That does not scream to me purpose. That screams to me, just do what you want to do.
I got it. But when you said about his thing, that becomes that's a result. A lot of that, I'll say this, a lot of that is a result of lack of being taught how to cooperate with each other.
No, it's what people want to do.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If you don't teach a kid not to steal, they're going to steal something they want. You don't teach them there's consequences to their actions. They're going to do things that they shouldn't do.
Someone don't commit paternity fraud. You don't need to teach that.
Apparently we do, because it still goes on. Who didn't go?
Gloomanddoom.com. They teach that.
Right. CMB, CPN.
Hey, hold on.
We got.
Okay. So look, one thing though, like, because I love my brother Scam Likely, and we always butt heads on different things. But in this situation, that don't fit Scam Likely, because in marriage, doom and gloom is what JT just said about his mom and dad. My grandmother and grandfather, when my grandfather got very ill, I watched my grandmother take care of this man, lift him up, feed him, bathe him. This is people who really love each other. And I don't look at that as gloom. I look at that as my grandmother taking care of a man that she vowed to love in spite of sickness, health, rich or poor. And they grew from nothing. They grew from nothing.
But BM, they loved each other, bro. They did that because they loved each other.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
You don't do that with somebody you don't love if it's just robotic, bro.
That wasn't what I was talking about. I was talking about.
Okay, then clear it up.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Scam Likely. Go ahead. My bad, brother. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was talking about which I know is coming next, because they always talk about marriage. Then you throw these modern women out here, like 14-year-olds having babies. I just came from Strawberry Fest in Plant City.
Whoa.
There were a whole bunch of teenagers. None were pregnant. What world is this where all the 13-year-olds is pregnant and you go to the school and half the seats is empty?
Okay, this ain't the conversation we're having.
But the other thing was doom and gloom is that, all the kids ain't even the real people. I mean, if it's like that, why even talk to it? Just no.
Thank you. Now, Blake David, do you have anything relevant to the conversation? This conversation is, The people have already gotten past the attraction, all that stuff. Now they're in the relationship or marriage. How are they to get along? How are they to, what are some things they can do to make this work? What kind of mindset do they need to have? You can list duties and responsibilities and things like that if you want to. But my thing is people aren't teaching people about this part. JT brought it up. They're not teaching about duty. Well, what duties? And why is it important? Why should I do these things? Go ahead.
It's an amazing conversation you guys are having. And what making connecting what I watched yesterday when the lady had their own broadcast. I think what is missing is that people, when they go get married, they don't really know who they really are themselves as an individual before they get married. And while they're in the marriage, you hear this several times. Some people say they lost themselves while they're in their marriage. They don't know who they are anymore. They're trying to figure out, what would the excuse some women say when they want to get a divorce? I'm trying to find myself. Yesterday's conversation got me thinking about a lot of things. I was like, wait a minute. If you're married and you're trying to find yourself, why do you get married in the first place? What would the motive for you getting married for? The marriage of the old days, they know what their purpose or they know what their foundation was. They were taught that properly well. That's why I know people able to get married for over 40, 50, 60, 70 years. Today's generation, a majority either they were taught was not listening, or wasn't taught but they didn't find someone who can teach them when they get into marriage for multiple different reasons. Which is very, very funny about it because you see all the divorce court shows. You see all the main reason why they got married, why they got divorced. Marriage become a joke in today's society. But yesterday's society was never a joke. So if you want a marriage to last long, you gotta ask yourself, what foundation are you basing your marriage on? I think that's the first question you gotta ask yourself first before you jump into the institution of marriage.
I'm married. Can a married guy actually answer this question? And JT, I would really love to respond to you because
I'm married. No, I'm married. I'm married.
JT, I had a conversation with my dad because I think I remember you told me. I think you were around my dad's age, and I think I finally know the gap between baby boomers, Gen X, and then millennials and Gen Z. And the gap is because social media showed us that everything's not linear anymore. And remember, when you guys was coming up, everything was linear. Everything was one direction, like a purpose. You get what I mean? Like if you didn't follow this outline, this kind of way, shit can go south real quick. We don't live in that world anymore, right? And so, for example, I've been married for April 4th will be 15 years. When I got into a relationship and seeing my parents married, I see my parents married because they love each other, because they supported each other. They supported each other's vision. And so when my mom went to the hospital, there was no question that my dad was going to be with her and vice versa, because that's what two people who love each other do. They're going to take care of each other through the thick and the thin. They're going to be there on your bedside, whether you make it or you die. That's not even like a question when you really love somebody. So JT, when you see your mom doing that for your dad, BM, when you see your grandma doing that for your grandpa, that's because they love each other. That wasn't even up for debate in people who love each other's minds. And so JT, like when I got married, me and my wife got married because we love each other. We're on the same wavelength. I see her who she wants to be individually, and I support that. She sees who I want to be individually, and she supports that. So guess what, JT? Yeah, we love the same music and we love going on road trips. But guess what, JT? When I had kids, we still went on road trips. I just had the car seat in the back. Because guess what, JT? Yes, the purpose then becomes children. But what am I teaching my children if I no longer go on road trips because I have children? You see what I mean, JT? Do I not go on vacations anymore because I have children? Do I not show them up that part of who their parents were just because we're married and we got kids now? Does life stop? No, you have to do both. And that's the thing, JT. It's both. It's not either or. Yes, you have a purpose in marriage. And yes, you can do these things because you love each other. It's not either or.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I can't speak for you, JT. My bad. Didn't mean to talk over you.
No,
Go ahead.
No, but this is the thing. It's not about that. The only thing I simply said was purpose and duty. Got to remember, love is a frequency. That shit is when you do something, people label love all kind of ways. They make it seem like it's subjective. It's not. It's actually something that deals with duty.
But it's intertwined, JT. That's what I'm saying. Your parents do that because they love each other. It's intertwined. Because they love each other, that duty and responsibility, they don't think about that.
But it's more than just those two. What I'm saying, the purpose is so much bigger than who we are. Like my parents had me and molded me and you know, and reared me and all these different things, not just for me so I can get out here and do. No, they did it for their unborn grandchildren. They did something for somebody that wasn't even here yet. That's what we call love. You're contributing to the world and you're doing it together. You can do it by yourself or you can do it together. What we're talking about is doing it together. Yes, everything is bi-directional, but we would talk today in today's, you know, society, we're thinking everything is unidirectional. I'm only submissive to a man that can have, you know, so much money and all these stupid ass talking points. And nobody is saying duty is what it's about. When you're talking about going on road trips, when you're talking about doing all these, guess what that is? That's morale boosters, bro.
I'm sorry. How else do you get to know the woman before you marry her? Do you just like get married to just some random? And you figure it out from there, or do you do things together to figure out if you want to be together or not?
No, we already passed that part of picking the woman.
Bro, but life doesn't stop just because you get married. Life doesn't stop. You don't stop going on vacations and road trips, bro.
No, I didn't say, bro. I just agree with you, but I said that when you're doing things like that, when you're talking about the road trips and all these different things, those are morale boosters.
They're not morale boosters.
They're definitely morale boosters. When we let me tell you what my family used to do, and I'm gonna end this. Me and my family, my mother and my father came up with this. We used to play board games all the time. Trouble, Trivial Pursuit, Monopoly. What do you think all that was? That was fun for us, but it was morale boosters. It was to keep us united, be able to challenge one another in a fun way. It was showing teamwork when we played spades or when we played certain other games and stuff. Those are activities you're talking about, which would be bonding, morale boosting. Those are the things that we're talking about. But I said nothing different than we don't talk about duty, because this is what I'm not understanding what you're saying, because all I'm talking about is duty and purpose, bro.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
Hold on. What I'm trying to tell you is that duty and purpose comes with first the bonding aspect. For example, JT, let's say all the board games and stuff. Guess what? I play them too. So guess what, JT? Let's say you're in a marriage. All of a sudden, when you get married, you don't play those board games anymore. And your wife asks you, well, why don't we ever play these board games anymore? Well, because we married. Everything's about duty and purpose.
I agree with you.
Is that just morale boosting, or did you just commit fraud?
Whoa. Hold on.
If I all of a sudden stop traveling just because I'm married, then did I actually like traveling, or was I just doing it?
Who's doing that though? Who's doing that though?
That's not even how marriage works.
No, but y'all keep acting like life completely changes the moment you get the certificate.
No one said.
Hold on, Mandrell. I got you, Mandrell. Hold on,
I gotta get this conversation back on because you guys are off track.
We gotta respect the host, guys. But what I'm telling you from a guy, I'm talking from a guy that's married and has 6 children. 6 different personalities that I have to manage on a daily basis. Make sure my wife is good, right? Make sure she's okay. Make sure I'm okay. Make sure the house is okay. The kids' homework is done. This is a servitude that Mandrell was talking about earlier. You have to be willing to serve. Are we perfect? Not at all. However,
you got to do that shit before you marry.
Hold on.
You're
Tyrese, listen though. I didn't have the kids before I got married, Tyrese. I didn't want no baby daddy, nigga.
Tyrese, guess what? I had kids after marriage too. See, I'm not gonna get you.
Hold on, Tyrese. But listen.
People get married because they love each other. It's a spiritual bond. I gotta pay bills before or after I get divorced.
Tyrese. There's listen.
Y'all make this so unfun.
Okay, guys, listen. We got a guest that we haven't gotten to tonight.
Right.
Tyrese, you're having a whole nother conversation because no one's
y'all just make marriage sound so unfun.
No, what I'm saying
we're not.
Mandrell, let me finish real quick, Mandrell.
We got a guest we haven't gotten to tonight.
I know, I apologize. I just want to say this.
He's been sitting there waiting a while.
I want to say this just one thing, and I'm done. I swear to God, I'm sorry to shoot you, Mandrell. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying that's a burden to me. What I'm saying is we serve. And then once I say, hey, like this weekend, I told my wife, hey, listen, baby, we've been working hard. We about to hit this road this weekend. She said, but the kids got this. Don't worry about it. It's already taken care of. They're going to go to the game. Their aunt going to be with them. We're going to go and have some fun. You're going to lay back, get you a little spa treatment, get you a massage. We're going to laugh, kiki, watch a movie, chill out, just deal with be in a quiet mode, right? And so what I'm saying to you is you serve, but at a moment, you still have to have your wife or the husband has to, have his wife in mind. The wife has to have the husband in mind to bring back that love. Well, not back the love, but just experience that love. Like JT was saying, you just need a refresher sometimes. Sometimes you need to hit the reset button and just and take a deep breath. You know what I mean?
I just don't understand why both can't happen at the same time. I guess I just didn't take a break. I do both. I take care of my family and I go on function.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I agree with you. I agree with you. So if we're saying the same thing. We're saying the same thing. You just saying it different.
Okay, Tyrese, you're both saying the same thing. You just said it in 2 different ways. That's all.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's what it just came. Now, Dirty Folks, thank you for coming up. No problem. Dirty Folks, thank you for coming up.
I still love you,
BM. Being here.
Love you too.
What do you got on the topic, brother?
I just had a question for the married guys. So what is a woman? What is a woman's duty? What is a wife's duty?
Who do you want to answer? Pick one.
I don't care which one of y'all married guys. All three of you can go. What is a wife's duty? Don't tell me what she does because she loves you. Tell me what a wife's duty.
A woman. Well, it all depends on what side of the spectrum you're coming from.
No, it doesn't, because we all know what a man's duty is, right? To provide.
Bro, a wife's duty is to share my experiences with her, bro. That's what her duty is. How about that?
Okay, that's your interpretation. I'll go across the room.
A wife's duty is to be her husband's help. That's her duty. To be her husband's help, to be the nurturer of the family, to bring that nurturing and that femininity to the family for my daughters to have an example of. That's what she is. That's her duty, to be that woman. And in this day and time, when people say, oh, but women are working, and no, the Bible never says, and I get tired of this. When we go to biblically, the Bible never says that a woman is to sit at home while her husband works. I don't know where that came from. That ain't nowhere in the Bible. The Bible says while a husband is out working, a woman is finding his side hustle. Basically, in the terms today of what the Bible would say, it would be a side hustle. They say while the husband is out working, the wife is finding things and buying it for it as an investment to bring.
See, BM, that's what you got to highlight, BM. You see too many dudes think that women got to stay home and make sandwiches all day. Even you saying that's not what women got to do, but too many guys want to be on that dictator, that Vladimir Putin shit. Even that's not what the Bible says.
Well, first of all, I like.
Yes, but go ahead, Dirty Folks. I'm sorry.
Okay, here's one thing. Men's roles are defined. Even though women keep breaking them, talking about, I want to see your emotional side. Men's roles are defined. They're defined by society and defined by men. I don't know if you guys noticed, but women don't really like family. They don't like their kids to have fathers, and marriage goes down 10% every decade. By 2030, it's projected that marriage will be 2% plus minus 2% for Black women. Right now, it's at 9%. So just be honest, it's 9% for women under the age of 55. But that 26%, that's because the boomers ain't died yet. And God bless, because my parents still alive and they boomers. But they inflated the record. So what I see is that women don't have a defined concept of femininity. Their defined concept of strong is to be masculine and to break down men to reverse the roles. I hear you guys say that love is duty. I totally agree for men, but love is not duty for women unless it's defined as such. I hear you guys say that the bonding is everything. Personally, I don't think that you need to love anybody you marry. I think arranged marriages have a better substantial rate than marrying for love, because girls make horrible, they have horrible discernment. I hear the argument, and it even goes back to when I first came on the show. She was talking about men and women need each other because they complete. And I'm like, yo, everything that women do is something that men created for her, and 4 men helped her, and she took all the credit like she did it by herself. I don't see what the defined role is. I don't see what the training or the accommodation is to create wives. I hear a bunch of boomers and some Gen Xers saying they want to get their daughter that college plan just so you don't need no man, which means they're training her to be masculine, not feminine, so she's not a good teammate or helpmate. So who defines the role of what a wife is so that she can be a wife instead of relying on men's love and benevolence in order
Hey,
for her?
dirty folks, I can tell you right now, because what you said actually makes a lot of sense. That will be that man. It will be that man. That's why you have to have men to take lead into their household. It's more of an individual thing in order to build a community. You got to start like what we got going on right now. I agree with you 100%, man. It's all messed up. There are a lot of women out here that they don't have any leadership, period. And you got a lot of men that aren't leaders. They're not leaders. And then you got women that are picking men. And guess what they end up doing? Picking men that ain't leaders. They're horrible picking men. That's why men are supposed to be picking the women. They're supposed to be presenting themselves to get chosen. I said it on I can't remember what show it was. When it comes down to marriage, we have to define it. We have to define all of this shit. We have to define the role of that woman. We have to define it, because if we keep going on and on and on and having these YouTube talking points, then guess what? We're going to be, nobody's going to ask the question that you just asked, and everybody's just going to keep following each other. The blind leading the blind.
JT, but wouldn't you agree that, you know, I'm not a Christian, but wouldn't you agree that even in the Bible, it says you want to be in a loving bond with your wife?
This is the thing. Love, again, that's why I said love is in the higher frequency, because we can subjugate this love thing all damn day. I'm with her because I love her. You ain't said nothing. I'm with him because I love him. You haven't said anything. It has to have some type of purpose behind it.
Right, but that's better than an arranged marriage, though, right? Today,
it has to be definitive, because if you're just using this word love, that's anything. I love you. I mean, Ike loved Tina.
Right. And JT, from a biblical standpoint, again, we always going back to it. It says that a man should dwell with his wife. Look at the definition of dwell. A man should dwell with his wife, is what the scripture says verbatim.
I got some pushback on a few things.
Okay.
The first one is when you're talking about, yes, they're attracted, yes, they're communicating. Now we're past that. Now we're going into the how do you skip past 80%? That's the reason why they don't want to do the duty. That's why there's all the problems, is because of lack of communication. And somehow they ain't connected. Then you have breach of duty and all them other problems. You get what I'm saying? Number one problems in the marriage, communication. That means that's the very thing that needs to be talked about. Why can't the people talk to each other? Number two, attraction. Why they getting ugly? Why they ain't attracted to each other? Infidelity. Why they cheating? All those come way before you get to the point of why they just won't. But just coming in and saying, hey, it's your duty. It's like, you cheated last week. You're ugly. And we ain't talked in 6 weeks. Those are the problems that lead you to the gutter.
That's gloom and doom.
Yeah, no. Here's the thing. What Dusso is talking about
fixing those problems, so you don't get the gloom and doom.
And what I'm saying is
just because I know I'll never get the mic back. I know I won't.
Go ahead.
But JT, I get it. Duty is important. What Tarus is saying is this: 1936, people went and they got a job in the plant. They lived in the same house. They had the same dog. They had 8 kids, and they were robots. They knew 3 things. They taught their kids 4 things. Then the world started looking the way it does. Whereas a whole bunch of young people like, man, y'all ain't teach us nothing. Y'all let us spend for ourselves as emotional maniacs out here. Crazy. But the duty is important. But the way people are wired, they don't just show up at the plant and work there 30, 50 years no more. They go somewhere, and if it ain't legit, they leave.
You're right.
They quit.
You're right.
But the way people are wired, not saying it's correct. Part of it, I get it. Part of it, I don't. But if something is a bad situation, you just don't stay. You go look for the best option. And people now have access to go see, at least get a feeling of what other options are. But if a person is married or in a relationship, dating, whatever, and they're not being, the communication ain't on point, the attract, all the stuff's on point, they're going to leave. That's just reality.
Can I
know this?
Wait, can I address Trey real quick?
Not saying duty ain't important, but that's how it is.
Duty is important, but only men have duty. Women just what they want to do.
Hold on, bring that back up.
Bring
I want to make sure. Bring that comment back up. I want to make sure I understand it.
Which one, brother?
The one that Trey did. And by the way, everyone, that one.
Right.
There is no need for communication in person anymore in 23. Cell phone, social media ruined. See, here's the thing. The reason why you say social media has ruined everything, that is the exact reason why we do need communication in person in 2023, Trey. I disagree with that.
Look at no eyebrows saying the right thing. Okay, here's the thing. I was gonna say something similar. Check this out, Trey.
Really dirty?
Yeah, you ain't got no eyebrows. Like,
I do.
Anyway, all right. You the Black Lex Luthor. Anyway, so here's the thing, bro. Let me tell you something. The reason that you say that is the reason that relationships won't work. If you have telecommunications to communicate, you're in a woman's space. The internet is woman's space. That's where they get to cosplay and live in a little fantasy world, and everybody got to be 6'6", even though their baby daddy is broken, he's 5'3". Look, the truth of the matter is that anytime you're in a space where women can dominate, because women are only as faithful as her options, and there's way too many options on social media, that's part of the poor communication, because girls talk to themselves. Let me tell you something, bro. This just happened to me. Have you ever walked into a room and she was already arguing with you before you got there, and you just joined in and you don't even know why we arguing, but here I am?
No, that's never happened to me.
Bro, that has happened to me.
Dirty folks.
Damn, bro, what you could call us then?
Where are you finding these people? Are you
No, don't cut him off. Please let him finish.
Let him finish. I know what he's
doing. Let him finish. I want to hear the rest of this.
Yeah.
Today. So, and it wasn't even a girlfriend. This was my mother. Like, apparently my mother had some stuff to say to me. And I visited her because she's on hospice at the house, and she was already arguing with me. And I was like, yo, I just wanted to know if you wanted something to eat. Like, it's crazy, but it's true. So the lack of communication is based on the lack of boundaries, and boundaries are enforced in person. There's a lot of people that say stuff to you. I tell you something, this happens to me all the time on Facebook. I will sleep with a girl. She'll go home, read a Facebook post I made she don't like, and call me gay. I'm like, shorty, I just slept with you like 45 minutes ago. If anybody, you should know I'm not gay. But that's, once you go on social media, communication will break down, because there's no barriers and there's no penalty. You know what I'm saying?
I do understand what you're saying. Now, Trey just came up here. Trey, a couple of us, I don't know how many disagree with your comment here, or maybe it needs to be fleshed out.
Mandrell, you disagree with it because you didn't read the entire chat, and I get a little bit irritated with this, because people will take one comment and go with that when you know that you only have a certain number of characters and you got to keep typing out a message. If you go back and read the conversation that I was having with Christina, what I was saying is that the world we live in today, these people are never going to agree with what you guys are saying. What you guys are saying is absolutely correct. I don't disagree with it, but that's not the world we live in anymore. We live in a different time. We live in 2023. Like I said earlier on the Trigger Mike show, this is not 1823. This is 2023. We live in a different time. And the younger people that are between the ages of 10 to 21 do not view communication the same way we view communication. If I want to go hang out with my boys, I call them, hey, what you doing? All right, cool, I'm around the corner, I'm gonna come holler at you. That's how we communicate. We go see the person. But the kids that are between the ages of 10 and 21, what do? They get on FaceTime. Hey, what you doing? It's completely different. And that's all I'm trying to say about communication is in the day and age of the younger group, they don't see it as a necessity the way that we see effective interpersonal communication as a necessity. If I'm in a relationship with a woman, you better text me because it's a quick message. Otherwise, you should be calling me or we should be talking to each other face to face. But that's what I believe in. But I'm also 38 and I was born in 1984. You try telling somebody that was born in 1998 or 2002. It's not the same.
I agree with you. No, wait. No. I agree with him, but I also need to quantify that there's a difference between how males communicate with males and how females communicate with the world, right? Males communicate with males, and I've seen it. I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? They talk in person also, but they do talk FaceTime, which is the same as us calling our boys on the phone. I get that. And they also do activities together online, but they it's their, like I have a little nephew who watches people play video games. He'd be like, Uncle, you gotta watch this for me. I'm like, yo, I've never thought, like I had to program myself to say this 12-year-old on what's the name of that website? Whatever the name is, the video game site.
Twitch.
Him watching kids play video games on Twitch is no different than me watching adults play sports on TV. It's the same thing in principle, right? That's their entertainment.
That's absolutely true.
But those young boys still get together and do young boy stuff. The difference is when they communicate with girls, you have to understand that most people don't want to be rejected. I don't fear being rejected by Mandrell. Like, really? You know what I'm saying? But if I really like Shushu and she told me, no, if I didn't know I could get 3 more Shushus, I would feel defeated, right? So,
hey, dirty folks, she ain't gonna say no. She gonna say, nigga, no.
Hey, nigga, know me unprotected sex, then I just. But that's not the point, though. What I'm saying is the number one. Why?
Lord.
No, here's the thing. The number 2 fear in life is death. The number 1 fear is public speaking. So inboxing a girl takes away the sting of her saying no. And leaving you on read feels better than her turning her back on you in the mall when you got your little bag of cookies trying to get your phone numbers, right? The interpersonal relationship between men and women changed, but males and males never changed. It never changed. They just found different activities. Instead of us going bowling with the guys on Tuesday, they put some headphones on and they play Call of Duty together. Like the male bonding is still there. The male to female has to be in person because girls talk reckless when you ain't that, you know what I'm saying, to get them in aisle 5. So that's the conundrum.
I got you. Here's what I think that one big issue that I see is that I think the definition of love has been lost on us as well. You know what I mean? Like what love is, thus and so. And I think that I'm going to read something I think that even if you're not religious or spiritual, you can agree with. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4-7. Love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude.
Come on, Bishop.
It does not insist on its own way, meaning get your ego out of it, fellas.
Get your volume up, Mandrell. Let's go.
It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoice with the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. Again, that's 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 4-7.
Hey, but don't that sound like duty and purpose?
Yes, sir.
It sounds like duty and purpose.
Sounds like it to me.
I don't know. It just sounds like love.
Only men have
sound like fucking love.
Everything is still optional at the end of the day.
Okay, here's the thing. At the end of the day,
you never come back.
At the end of the day, it is at the end of the day, it is your choice as to what you want to do. However, I read that off to you because since I was 11, this is what I aspired to be in a relationship. This is what I aspired to be as a husband. You want to get to know me? There you have it. That's what I wanted to do as a husband. That's my answer. Seriously, that's why I can just pick that up. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 through 7.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Since you quoted that,
mm-hmm.
and personally, I think that love is respect plus trust plus duty. So I just making a mathematical equation. But with that being said, friendship is the number one form of love. That's why you have friends from third grade when you're 50, and you can switch girls every 6 months. And she says she loves every man that she's been with every 6 months. Because the friendship isn't there, the inside jokes isn't there. Because a woman's love is a man's work, but a man's love is a woman's boredom. Because love is boring. Being in a marriage is boring. It's duty, but duty isn't exciting. She has to tell you, we need to go out. You have to make a date because you have plans for your family, because as your duty as a man, you want the best for your family. She just wants to have fun like Cyndi Lauper in the 80s. You know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing, dirty folks. You can have fun in a marriage. When the day comes when I get married, right? God willing, I'm gonna want to have fun with my wife. That's why we said early in this broadcast. I was telling my sister, every Saturday or Friday night, go out and go on a date with your wife. Go do something fun. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're doing your duty 5 to 6 days a week, that does get monotonous. It does get robotic. It does get tedious, and it does get boring. That's why you do go on a trip once or twice a year, in between the ones like the road trips you might take. Go see somewhere else. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave the country and go see other countries, and I want to take my wife with me. And like I said, you go on a date every week. It's 4 times a month. That ain't a lot to ask for.
Again, and Tyrus, this is what I was saying. We don't have to split those in half. It's still gonna be duty. Have fun. That's an order. Remember in the military, they used to tell you.
JT, that's what I'm saying. I think BM brought that up.
Fun days.
BM brought that up.
Mandatory fun days.
Still duty.
BM brought that up. It's just, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not, for me, it's not either or. It's just, I've always just thought of it as everything all at once. I don't split that up. You know what I mean? Like, I just,
but that's why I was saying what you were saying. Exactly. That's why I was saying that when we were talking about, when you was like, we're gonna go on the trips, we're gonna go on family trips, we're gonna do this and that. It's still duty. Why? Because we have to still keep our bond together with each other. If you just all work, man, that shit gets boring. And dirty folks, that's not necessarily true that marriage is boring. Marriage doesn't have to. Marriage is what you make it out to be. It's what you make it out to be.
Okay, time out. Here's my rebuttal. Okay, hold on. Check this out. That's before you say that, and I'm gonna answer your question. Before I understand what you're saying, let me explain something to you. When you first meet a girl, everything you say is funny. When you're with her for a while, she only laughs when your friends laugh. She's like, "You're never funny like this at home." Bitch, it's the same jokes. These are the exact same jokes I tell in the living room. Now my guys are live. Be like, "Oh my God, that's so hilarious," because she's used to your jokes. Men,
my wife still laughs at my jokes. What the fuck wrong with you, bro?
Hey man, men get married hoping she never changes. Women get married hoping she can change the man. Love being duty is, I know my girl wants to be on the water. I'm stacking my bread so I could buy a baby boat. All she got to do is put a fucking 2-piece on and pop her titties at the dock, and she's gonna be on the boat. I gotta have a boat or know somebody with a boat. She just got to show up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying she would, your wife wouldn't, but I'm just saying when it comes to excitement, women can find a way to excite themselves instantaneously, but she wants other men to be an entertainment because girls ain't funny. Girls.
Bro, I'm getting dry as hell listening to this right now. Like,
Hey, dirty folks, I had a question.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Hey, I
You mean
just let
hold
nah,
on, hang on,
nah,
hang
no
on.
pause, no nothing. I'm all back.
You mean as opposed to getting
This
wet?
line of conversation was boring as
You
shit, bro. It was
mean as
dry as
opposed to
hell.
getting wet? You would
You know
get
what I mean?
wet instead if you liked it?
Bro, this
Hey, we just going to Dusto. Dusto, please
that
save us.
sound like a dude I wouldn't even hang out with just on some bro trip shit. Dirty folks sound like he'd be in the car for 4 hours complaining about women.
Dirty folks, quick question.
Why?
I'm just being real. I ain't even trying to take a shot. Here's the deal. There's modern women way over there somewhere in a Nation of Wigwam meeting. Then there's wives way over here.
You said wigwam, sir. That was hilarious. No, don't mute Dusto. But wigwam was hilarious. Don't mute Dusto. Go ahead, Dusto.
No, my computer's delaying. My bad.
All right.
There's women over here that are out of control. Like I'll be honest. The women that you describe in all these scenarios, I can't sit if I gave them a $5 bill and asked for change, I just tell them keep the $5. I can't even look them in the eyes and stick around long enough to get my money back. Where do you find these women, and how can you tolerate this?
I don't tolerate anything.
When there are other women, it ain't that many, let's be real, but there are women who just don't act like this. That's the ones you take on steak dinners and actually take on the boat. But some of the stuff you're saying, I can't deal with those people. How do you do it?
I don't do it. That's why I rotate. Everybody's cool when you first meet them. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's.
Gotcha. Here's the thing.
Yep.
Fellas. We're talking about. Okay, bruh. What you do in your personal life? That's cool. Do you? But I don't need to know it.
Oh my God.
We had members of another community here a couple of weeks ago. I don't know what they do in their life, and I'm fine. I like to keep it that way.
I rest my case.
Okay,
talking
not
about?
you, Justo. It's only Tarus.
Y'all so homophobic. See, that's what's wrong with y'all now. That's why y'all.
It's a joke, Tarus.
You know?
Calm down.
That's why y'all so single.
It's a joke.
I don't think I've ever heard a grown man say that.
I haven't either.
That he was dry. That's
But no.
Stuff
Listening
like
to
that.
dirty folk, it was getting real dry. Yeah, I'm not gonna walk that back.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. You ain't got to. I mean, keep it over there.
Real dry.
Nice. All right. Here we go. I'm gonna round this up. We're gonna do a round robin, starting with JT, if you're there. Okay. I mean, maybe you stepped. I went to the bathroom, but Tarus, let's go and get you out the way. Final thoughts, people, because we are at 1 hour and 52 minutes. Final thoughts. Because I have something to say to wrap this up. In fact, you know what? Before we get to final thoughts, let me see what you guys think of this. Okay, I do want to hear your opinions on this one by one. All right. Ephesians 5, chapter 5, verse 23. For the husband is the head of the wife, as Christ is head of the church, his body, of which he is the Savior. Now, that acknowledges the man as the head of the household. Now, to the women, have confidence in your leader and submit to their authority, because they keep watch over you as those who must give an account, meaning we are accountable for you and the marriage. We have to answer to God on whether it passes or fails. Do this so that their work will be a joy, not a burden, for that would be of no benefit to you. Now, let's go to so fellas, that's telling us that we are the head of the household. We have the responsibility of this relation, not only this marriage, but we're responsible for the wife and whatever children we have. Okay, we are the responsible ones for that family. And whether that marriage is a success or a failure, we have to answer to God himself on that. So we are held accountable on the success or failure of that marriage. We are accountable for it. And it says to the ladies, look, don't give them a hard time, because that doesn't benefit you at all. Now, fellas, it ain't a free ride. You're no dictator. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 through 7 says, this is what you got to bring. Love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Now, if you want this woman to acknowledge you, as Ephesians and Hebrews both said, you want to go into acknowledge you as those things. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 through 7 is what you got to bring. It is an absolute must.
Mandrell, I don't got no other comments tonight, bro. I just want to say this. I just want to take a moment and just say I'm so proud of you, man. Tonight, bro, like you are really cooking out this word tonight, bro. And I knew you had it in you. And so in a few months, guys, he's going to get his collar and we're going to be looking at Bishop Harris.
I don't know about all that. Yeah, but like I said, 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 through 7, that's the description of love. That's the definition of description. Yeah.
I'm just glad to see him redeeming himself because, man. Mandrell, boy.
I knew it was coming, bro.
So I'm happy to hear, Mandrell.
Well, here's the thing.
Glad to have you back, brother.
Thank you. The thing is, Trey, about that, hold on. I wasn't clear about the definition of that. What kind of conversation that was?
No, Mandrell, don't get derailed.
I'm not going to get derailed. That's all. Trey, I'll explain it to you.
Yeah.
The fact that everyone was so confused, that's on me.
You don't have to explain it, bro. I was just joking. I understand. I understand completely what you guys were trying to do. I'm just messing with you, bro.
People have been taking shots at me ever since, man. I mean, I've been catching fire for 2 weeks.
That would be me.
Yeah, you ain't the only one. But yeah, here's my thing. Let's start with JT since he's back. JT, what do you think of what I just said?
I already told you that goes right into what we was talking about when it comes down to duty. You don't take that as any purpose. How? Everything that said right there. You believe all things? All things.
Yeah.
How do you go from that? What is God? According to the Bible.
God is love.
He is.
He is 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 through 7. Again, like I told you guys before, this is what I've aspired to be since I was 11. And I work every day to be this every single day, all day. Now I'm human. And since I'm human, we're all subject to mess up. So I don't achieve it every day. You know what I'm saying? But I do my best to.
Practice. That's what they call it.
Exactly. That's why I call it practice. So, Teruse, what do you think of what I said? If you want women to acknowledge you, as what Ephesians chapter 5, verse 23 and Hebrews chapter 13, verse 17 explain.
Mandrell, you do not need to read them scriptures no more. Okay?
I'm not going to read them.
Everybody who's a Christian, they have a Bible, honey. They know where it is. Okay? All right? So, let the man answer. Let him answer.
Okay, go ahead.
Let him answer? Let him answer.
Look, I just got to be real. This is my first time ever hearing that description of love, and I was just like, "Wait, I do that anyway." I've been doing that for a while now. I didn't need the scripture to do that, to define that. And it's great that it's there, for people who need that sort of thing. But it's just like, at the end of the day, I just thought that was just us as men. That just was natural. You know what I mean? But I don't know.
Fair enough. Now, dirty folks. The toddler's gonna toddle.
Toddler's gonna toddle. I think that description of love matches man love. I think it also was written at a time in which you had to work 14 years to get a girl and her sister. When men choose your wife, then men can tell you how not to be a dictator to their daughter. I don't think that I don't even think that it's necessary for women to love you in order for you to love her and marry her. So I agree with the scripture. I just think it's man love. I don't ask of my brethren anything I wouldn't do myself. So that's my expression of love. But I don't necessarily transfer that to
I agree, Vaughn. You're right.
Okay, cool. Black David, the Nigerian Nighthawk.
Nigerian Nighthawk.
That's right.
Number one.
Black David, what you selling tonight? What you got on sale?
What you got from what I proposed? What do you think of this? Because this is my roadmap.
I'll be honest, I'm shocked.
Why?
I'm shocked.
What? Because I'm reading scripture. Is that what you're shocked about?
No, it's not that you're reading it. The way you actually not only understand it, you ought to believe it, and you deep on it. I was like, whoa, what did Shushu did in Hawaii?
No, she didn't. Like Shushu would tell you, like, I would go to church by myself. You know what I'm saying?
I thought you wanted to meet a shaman or something. Until like, hold on, Mandrell, please chicken off.
I'm a very layered individual, man. There's a lot more to me than just cursing and cussing at people.
Oh God, why?
Black David is selling divorce papers made out of African bamboo on sale for $30, $39.99.
Oh Lord.
Divorce papers made out of African bamboo.
Divorce papers.
Divorce papers. Right. Divorce papers, though.
Scam. I see the look in your face. Don't think about anything different. Cut it out.
Black man, you should have said notarized divorce papers.
They already notarized.
Willie JT.
You know I had to get one.
Okay. What you got to say?
Hey, we got the doc in the house tonight.
We got the doc. We're gonna get to the doc after Black David. After Black David finished. So I get it.
We don't. I'm just joking on that. What you just read is something I learned at the age of 14, and I was taught that how men supposed to conduct themselves they want in a marriage.
Mm-hmm.
But that lesson have not been taught to their generation because a lot of people have walked away from those values. You read Ephesians chapter 5, verse 22, 23, which you were talking about. It's mostly from 22 to 33. But also reflect on 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 1 to 7. So I'm a Bible nerd. But what you're speaking on, we're speaking on the foundation of how marriage is supposed to be. It's supposed to be an even playing well on both sides. Man put to love the wife as a weaker vessel. Woman out to respect the man as the authority for ultimately to protect the house and provide. That is not taught to the young generation because they feel like it's all about materialistic. Either you have the money, or you have a car, or you have X, Y, and Z. And we need to walk with that and teach the young generation it's not what you think it is. It's much deeper than that. When you can change that value in the young generation mind, then maybe we're going to have these long marriages that people have before in yesteryear. Now, only very people who understand that value who hold on to it and make their marriage last even longer.
Gotcha. Thank you. Now, Dr. Nakumbe, the relationship expert extraordinaire. Thank you for coming. Privilege having you here. I know I saw you the phone call, and believe me, I'm going to call you probably tomorrow afternoon. All right. So, you can't hear me? Can you hear me now? Okay. Delta Flight, can you hear us now? No, you're muted. Thanks for coming. Appreciate you coming up here. What do you have on the topic? Speak on it, brother.
Hashtag Black Tech Support.
No, we can't hear you. Freezy.
You'll probably go out and come back in.
Well, maybe.
Yeah,
nope.
No.
Yeah, Doc, go out and come back in. Go out and come back in.
Yeah. Because I do want to hear what you have. I do want to. Oh, there it is. There it is.
There you go.
All right, he got.
Thanks, Doc. Wait, why did he go back out and come back in? I mean,
it haywire.
He fixed it, did he?
Ladies and gentlemen, get away from an Apple computer. It messes you up when you go online.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Hey, this has been a great show tonight, man. I really appreciate you guys. Mandrell and Shushu, great job tonight, man. I really appreciate you guys. And everybody that came up. The doctor just came back through the back door. He is. Hold on. There he is. Go ahead, Doc.
There you go.
All right, hear me now?
Yeah, we got you.
All right, cool. It was a slow reverb. I left, and then I heard my voice. You're like, why'd he leave? Excellent show. Thank you. I just wanted to give one perspective tonight. Sorry if I had to echo. One perspective.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember the movie Menace to Society, she didn't want whatever teaching her little son. Remember that? She was like, don't teach my little son. Think about any of these movies that has a little boy, or what do we don't want the little girls to see? Why is that? 11 years old, we already passed the threshold between 4 and 8. All the vows, all the things the family teaches us, the question is, can we do it? How come we have a basketball team of 10 people and not all of them can dunk like Jordan? How come? So you can have these relationship vows and goals and expectations, but based on the pillar that you were raised on, if you were called stupid, dumb, if you have levels of high inadequacy, people are not cheating just because they want to cheat. They cheat because they really believe they don't have enough. If you were raised with the responsibility of being man, and you fear messing up, you fear disappointing your parents, you fear, how do you think you're going to do in that marriage when you're the responsible one? I just want to throw out there that all of it sounds good, but the reality of people being able to do it is not because what they did in this relationship and that relationship and that relationship. You ever notice the people who, I heard the comment about shoo-shoo. So there are people who wouldn't even approach shoo-shoo because they would think, well, she's already taken, she's already taken, she's already taken. Intimidated. And then there'll be people who wouldn't even care. So why all the differences if we're following the same values? So I just want to throw out there that please, please, please consider how you were raised as a child has impact on how you would do as a husband or a wife or a partner in your relationship in your current day. It's not even arguable. Just study childhood development. Some people have been knocked in the head, they have TBI and don't even know they have TBI. Anger outbursts always, and they don't even know why. And they have all the religion they want. You can't follow the religion if you can't even operate in the brain. All I wanted to add. Thank you. It was a fabulous show. I thank you for letting me in.
Not a problem, man. Doctor, my door is always our door is always open to you. You know, always. You come up and drop jewels like that whenever you like.
That's an under
Yeah, also,
talked about topic, Doctor. I'm really glad
also,
you brought that
Doctor,
up.
please promote your show. Promote your show. No, let everybody know where they can find you. Promote your show.
Oh, sorry. It was reverbing, so everyone was talking at the same time. Yes, tomorrow, if you have an opportunity on Thursday, it's Breaking the Cycle with Coach K. We're going to be talking about issues and problems and discussing. Actually, our main focus is going to be letting people know you can get help. No excuses. You can get help. No stigma. They're going to think I'm this. They're already thinking it. They are already thinking it. I don't think people have mental illness. Everyone has some form of mental illness. Everybody has some form of personality disorder. Everyone. So we're going to be talking about break that cycle, get that negative thinking, get that old stereotype, get all those narratives. Let's switch them so you can be better and do better. Coach K and I are going to talk about plenty of examples that someone might relate to. Hopefully we can help you. So please check us out on Thursdays. Is it 8? I'm in Minnesota time, so
it's gonna be Thursdays, every Thursday on the Black Man Unfiltered Network at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
All right, thank you very much. And I want to thank we got a cash app from Dre Blanco. From Dre Blanco for $25. Thank you, Dre Blanco. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Give him some of that razzle dazzle.
Yes, I get 150 followers right now.
Hey, I got one, Mandrell. This is for the Mr. Doom there. For the other cash app.
Dr. Doom.
Yeah, Dr. Doom. We got a cash app from Beautifully Animated, and this is for Dr. Doom. This is his security guards. They did a music video.
My name is Rosa. They say I'm supposed to sit in the back, but I'm tired here, so I'm finna sit right closer. Come get me up then. It's gonna take about 3, 4, 5 men. And I ain't finna repeat myself again. Fight me, fight me. Somebody get her. My name is Eve. I didn't believe. I trusted Satan, ate that apple, he deceived. And yeah, I'm naked. I thought I was awakened. I'm the first to do it. Y'all my daughters, we related. Trick on Big Harry. Don't call me slave hoe. The hell? From the underground railroad, bust down mouth of dope. When I say run, you better go. In the dark, that Glocky glow.
Okay.
This how Big Harry.
As host of the show, just know I'm not. Listen, I'm not telling you what to do. Okay, I'm not giving you barking orders at nobody. I'm just saying I could go the entire rest of my life not seeing that again and be perfectly fine. I promise you, you don't have to play that again.
Come get me up. My name is Rosa. They say I'm supposed to sit in the back, but I'm tired here, so I'm finna sit right closer. Come get me up then. It's gonna take about 3, 4, 5 men. And I ain't finna repeat myself again. Fight me, fight me. Somebody get her. My name is Eve. I didn't believe. I trusted Satan, ate that apple, he deceived. And yeah, I'm naked. I thought I was awakened. I'm the first to do it. Y'all my daughters, we related. Trick on Big Harry. Don't call me slave hoe. The hell? From the underground railroad, bust down mouth of dope. When I say run, you better go. In the dark, that Glocky glow.
Oh my God, it gets worse the more you play it.
Why?
Don't call me slave hoe.
What the hell?
It gets worse. It gets worse. It got worse the second time. I don't know how.
You should do it one more time because you forgot to ad lib at the back.
It got worse. It got worse.
This how we hair.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, what the hell? The fuck?
Is it wet now?
Wow. I mean, Tarus, is it just me, Tarus, or do people have way too much time on their hands these days?
No, this is the epitome of first world problem, guys. This is the epitome.
That is a first world problem.
You like it, Tyrus?
Hey man, hey, she's showing that confidence. You know what I mean? Hey.
I actually ended up liking it, dog.
I think the Harriet verse is what went hard.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, got hype, bro. Yeah.
I saw it too many times. My bad, but I just saw it too many times. It's my my guilty pleasure. I'm sorry, but I like it.
I expect that from Cam likely. Not from JT.
Come get me up there. It's gonna take my 4 or 5 minutes.
BM, you see how it's growing, right? It's slowly growing. It's growing.
Look, right, and they're enjoying this, Tarus. They're enjoying it.
Hold on, the chat saying, wait a minute. We got the chat is the reason why we're here. They say play it again, Mandrell.
My name is Rosa. They say I'm supposed to sit in the back, but I'm tired here, so I'm finna sit right closer. Come get me up then. It's gonna take about 3, 4, 5 men. And I ain't finna repeat myself again. Fight me, fight me. Somebody get her. My name is Eve. I didn't believe. I trusted Satan, ate that apple, he deceived. And yeah, I'm naked. I thought I was awakened. I'm the first to do it. Y'all my daughters, we related. Trick on Big Harry. Don't call me slave hoe. The hell? From the underground railroad, bust down mouth of dope. When I say run, you better go. In the dark, that Glocky glow.
Yeah.
Don't call me slave hoe.
What the hell?
Listen, I was like, please.
Be bumping this in his car tomorrow.
No, I'm not. No, I will not. No, I will not.
It's gonna take 4 or 5 men to get me up.
Everybody, please donate to the Cash App, the PayPal, or send a super chat. Something. But I mean, and then put in a message, don't play that again. Pay him not to do it, please. For me, pay him not to. Pay him not to. If you pay him,
that was our little known Black History fact for last month.
Yeah. You know what though? I really do.
It was
I really
biblical and Black history. It was biblical and Black history.
That's heresy.
My name is Eve.
Yeah.
Apple. I'm deceived.
Yeah.
No, that's horrible.
And yeah, I'm naked.
I thought I'd be awakened. I like it. I'm sorry. I like it.
Scam likely. How are you not affected by this? I want to know.
Thank you for the $20 super sticker. No. He doesn't. No, he doesn't. He's not saying he wants to hear it again. Do something else. Give us a Eugene Steele. I need to wash my palate out with something nice.
Hey,
Give me Eugene Steele.
Let's do a vote. If you want Harriet in the game, raise your hand on the panel.
No, nobody wants that. Only one person. You're outvoted. No.
What's wrong with you, Tao?
Give us a Eugene Steele.
My name is Rosa. Say I'm supposed to sit in the back, but I'm tired here, so I'm finna sit right closer. Come get me up then. It's gonna take about 3, 4, 5 men. And I ain't finna repeat myself again. Fight me. My name is Eve. I didn't believe. I trusted Satan, ate that apple, he deceived. And yeah, I'm naked. I thought I was awakened. I'm the first to do it. Y'all my daughters, we related. Trick on Big Harry. Don't call me slave hoe. From the underground, railroad, bust down mouth of dope. When I say run, you better go. In the dark, that Glocky glow.
It's catchy, man. It's catchy.
When I say run, you better go.
Scam. How you
Hey,
not
look,
affected by this?
She say, Hey, JT, she said, I'm kicking that down to Master Doe. When I say run, you gotta go.
Scam. How you not affected by this?
In the dark, that gat can glow. I like it. I'm sorry.
You know what though? Amidst all that chaos, it just hit me. It just hit me. I need Von Bryant, Lady Navoa. Everybody help me out with this. Did I preach a sermon tonight?
You did.
You did.
You did.
Did I really? Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Harriet, Eve, all them is.
No, I didn't say anything about them. Leave them out of it.
I think I heard a couple of if you turn.
Why do they? And why do they all do that though, JT? That's my question. Every single one of them.
All right. Please forgive me.
I can't believe that happened. I really can't. I didn't intend to.
JT, I see you, boy. Look at JT, Mandrell. Hey guys, it's an inside joke. So if you're watching right now, guys, thank you guys for being here. Hit the like button, subscribe button, and share this. But what you see them doing, do it again, JT and Mandrell. All right, that guy, what you see right there is the guy in the red suit behind the pastor. It's his hype man. So let's play it again. Here we go.
Please forgive me.
I mean, he did that the entire time. That's all he did.
JT,
he just stood behind him.
That boy squeal. That boy say like a fan belt. That boy say, please forgive me.
Wow, like that guy sat there behind him and just stood there behind him and just did it the entire time.
Oh Lord.
A purple and a red suit, man.
I'm telling you.
That had to be Easter.
Oh my God.
Von Bryant, listen. Von Bryant, you stop that right there.
Oh my Lord. It's for a sermon.
He said he looked like the black penguin.
That's what I'm saying. Vaughn, you're not making it any better, man. You're encouraging him to do
it. Though. Oh
He
Lord.
did that, yeah. That's why he's not helping. He really did look like the penguin from Batman. And then he said Mandrell's first sermon. He's laughing. He's having a good time. Well, I had a good time with tonight's show. Let's move on to final thoughts and go to the back chat. Okay, let's start with JT. What do you think of tonight's topic? Do you have any suggestions on how husbands and wives, men and women, should cooperate with one another?
Oh, of course. First and foremost, counseling is very, very prevalent when we talk about a lot of these things, because we all pretty much learned some bad habits. And when we're talking about merging with each other, being with each other, there's never going to be a time that you will arrive when it comes down to marriage. There's no graduation. There's only dropouts. That's it.
Right on.
Can you read that for us, JT?
JT.
Yeah, it says Black David is selling Jesus hair gel from the sands of Buckalala for $129.99 a quart.
A quart, dang, Black David. Wait, $129. No, Black David, for $130. What kind of pomade this is? What kind of pomade this is?
Jesus hair.
Jesus hair gel. Jesus hair gel. Listen, what does pomade smell like? Peppermint or what? A clone? Yeah, help me out, Black David. I am curious about this.
Black David's so full right now he can't talk, so I'm gonna tell y'all what it is. It's Jesus robe sweat with Jordan River fish scale oil in it.
Fish scale oil. Awesome. From
the Jordan River. Okay.
From the River of Jordan. That's that runs through Egypt. You should see it today. It's not the glorious place the Bible describes, though. Not today.
The ghetto.
Oh, was that all you had, JT?
No.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
You can, that's all I had on the final thoughts, man. It is what it is. There's no graduates. There's only dropouts, or you're gonna die. Together. You're gonna leave somebody something, some bills, or I don't know, but that's what you do. Most people, they don't even make it to 6 years. 7 years, they don't even make it anymore because they're pretty much thinking of themselves. They're not thinking of the overall purpose, or at least trying to, even if you don't know, when you don't know, aren't you supposed to seek for knowledge?
Right. Yeah.
So, I'm just going to go ahead and cut that there. You can find me at What We Know Podcast. You can also find me at my new channel that I also have called Bonfire Broadcasting. That's where I'll be doing and I repeat, no live. I'll just be doing commentary videos that's on there. I got my first one that's on there that I did on the Chris Rock stand up, going in on Jada and Will Smith. And I'll be this week, hopefully, if our power is working well, I'll be doing a show either tomorrow or on Friday. So it all depends.
All right. Yeah, I was looking for you this weekend, but
JT, read this last one, then you can go.
He's also has.
All right. Oh man, we've been dealing with a whole bunch of bullshit, bro. But I'm about to start this week. All right. So it says he also has Moses condoms for $899.99. You can part any sea and not touch one fish with these condoms. What the hell? Moses condoms. Something wrong with black man.
All right, Black David, you were here tonight. Thank you for coming. Your presence is always welcome. You know that.
Help me, Lord.
Yes.
Black man, please play it. Black man, please. Just
No.
one time for me, please.
No. Come on, Trey. Don't do that. Come on. Now that one's okay. Do it again.
Trey about to have a heart attack. Look at Trey.
Hey, bro, it looked like he had some shoe on his feet.
Right. Like, look at this. Wow. All right. Let's wrap this up.
Go ahead, Trey. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
No problem.
I don't have nothing. That made my night. I got nothing. That's all I needed right there.
All right, Trey. Thank you for coming. Appreciate it, brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can only see that video on Black Men Unfiltered Network. Only. Thank God for that.
You better hope and pray. You better hope and pray Shamaria don't get her hands on it. She already got a YouTube channel.
I'm gonna send it to Shoo and
yeah. You better hope Shoo don't start posting that.
Shoo, my sister, you better not play that on your channel. I don't want to holler or blow it on my damn phone. I'm gonna wear the fast suit and do that thing. I ain't doing that. Not even for $1 billion either.
It's gonna get some rotation on my channel.
Hey yo.
JT, Willie. Willie, JT. It will happen when you come to the Black Men Unfiltered Network. It get contagious up in here. The kind of joke that be flying out the window, you cannot contain it at all, not one bit. I am innocent from all the product being sold out of this network. My spokesman get all the sales, I get no profit. Just to let you know. So I have not seen that one dot. Oh Lord, here we go again.
Okay, wait, Black David. You got Seal Heart Valve massage oil? Can you give me a discount?
Ask my spokesman. He got all the money. He got all the discount.
Okay, cool. No
I
problem.
can't tell you guys. It's helpless right now. I don't know what to say anymore. I am speechless. I am shocked. It was a great show. Mandrell shocked me. Toad even shocked me even more. I'm surprised Scam Like it's not fade. Oh, I'm sorry, not Scam Like Doom Gloomerson. That's his new name right now.
Oh, Doom Gloomerson. I like that.
This is an excellent show. I just hope my phone doesn't get blown up for all these things. Asking for the GJ hair grease. I don't have it. Black men have it all. All down in Texas. And a lot of in New York City because the export laws. All right? When it gets shipped.
Pay him no attention, Black David. All right, Tarus. Final thoughts on tonight's show, man. We've agreed on some things. We disagreed on some other stuff. And I think I made my point. I told you guys where I stood on it. So what say you as your final thoughts?
Great show. Thank you for inviting me on you guys' panel. Everything you guys was talking about prior to, I thought it was really good. I always think like I have to remember, and I think it was important that Doctor had brought that up because JT had talked about this months ago, where it's starting to seem like some of us were privileged to grow up in two-parent households, so certain things just were just automatic. It was just something we didn't even have to think about.
Mm-hmm.
But because we have a whole bunch of broken homes coming up, now we have to talk about the things we previously didn't have to think about. Right? It just came with the territory, but so many of our young men are becoming disillusioned into believing that no, that you could skip some of this process. They're like, there's certain cheat codes you could skip certain levels. Nah, man, you can't do that. I was never disillusioned into thinking that this was my way or the highway when it came to marriage. Like, but I guess the disconnect is always going to be, or should no longer be, JT, because I always believed that it was automatic. I thought because we grew up in the family structure, that automatically takes care of our generations. You get what I mean? Because we show up every single day. When you got a family, it's no longer about proving people right. I mean, proving people wrong. It's about proving your family right. Every single day, it's a challenge. You know what I mean? And so there's just certain things I guess I'm just not used to talking about because it's just automatic, and that's what I gotta learn. But those are my final thoughts.
Oh, thank you very much. And yeah, my sister and I both grew up in a two-parent household, so we can relate. Some of the things people talk about in these spaces, she and I talk, she and I talk almost every day. And we get in these conversations with each other, man, and we're just like, where the hell do these people get these? Where do they get this stuff from? You know what I'm saying? And we just kind of put our heads together and try to figure it out. I'm with you, Tarus. I don't know where they get this kind of crazy stuff from that they say. But thanks for coming, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, no problem. Door's always open.
Thank you. Bye, Tarus.
Didn't JT already go?
Already went.
Yeah. See what I'm saying? Now you, what did Blake David call him? Doom and gloomy or something like that.
Doom Gloomerson.
Yeah, Doom Gloomerson. You look like you Droopy D's cousin or something.
Not Droopy D.
You know what? I'm happy.
No, terrible.
Final thoughts. YouTube talking point.
Are you muted?
No, my computer's delayed, so it takes forever when the clip plays. But YouTube talking points are dust. Times have changed, and at the end of the day, people don't know how to talk to each other. They don't like each other, and they don't trust each other. There's 58 problems that are direct right in everybody's face. But most people go to try to solve the problem with something that's way over there. And you can't get to over there if you don't work on the problem that's right in front of your face. Gloom and doom is not the way. How is it that in the conversation about a marriage or relationship, the first three words are these modern women? These modern women are not marryable. Leave them alone. Uber them back to the streets immediately. Just no. But communication is the biggest dark hole. People don't know how to talk to each other. How do you get duty? Communicate. How do you get attraction? Communicate. And go to the gym. How do you get someone to do, believe, and all that stuff and lead? By communicating. So I just think there should be more emphasis on communication, which starts with listening, digging deep. And 90% of this world is run off of emotions. And if everything is based on emotions, why is everything based on step 1, step 2, step 3? She said, I don't feel like it. Maybe you need to find out how she feels before you get to step 1, step 2, step 3. People ain't robots. I learned this the hard way, by the way, just in case y'all didn't know. But it is what it is. And last thing is this. With duty, I get it. But people do what they want to do. If this was a world where people just followed duty, people wouldn't be fat, greasy, angry, miserable, broke, because they would just be following duty. So therefore, they maybe need to be taught, or they need to be influenced. They need to be guided. They need to be reinforced. They need to be counseled, and all these other things, which is leadership and communication. Versus, I got this woman. She might not even like you. She just there because she can't get to do what she wants. And then you beat her 3 times a week with the Bible. Second James says you cook a sandwich. Man, she gonna walk on her out the door and she ain't never coming back. Let's just be real. She don't want to be there. She's gonna leave. If she does want to be there, she's gonna stay. That's all I got. Dust.
I can relate to you when you say you learn the hard way. I've learned a very hard lesson also. Recently. Yeah, it's
But duty. But no. Duty. You got it. Seems like, man, stick that up your ass and
yeah, exactly.
I got your duty. That's
right.
If somebody don't want to be there, all right, let's take Modern Woman. They don't want to be at the gym. So guess what happens when you go there? They ain't there. They want to be at the buffet. Guess what you see? Lines stacked all the way around the building. People do what they want to do. But anyway, that's all I got. Assalamu alaikum to all my members of the Nation of Wiglam.
Alaikum salam, brother.
Alaikum salam.
All right. No problem.
Dust.
Dust.
And take him down, please. Or Scam, take yourself down. There we go. Bring Shmeria. There we go. Nice. Now you're cooking with gas. So, I brought some things that you didn't expect yourself, didn't I?
Indeed you did. Indeed you did.
Yeah. Well, you know there's a lot more depth to me than I show here on YouTube.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a lot. Yeah, and just taking your advice. Maybe I should introduce them to more of me.
Yeah.
Just taking your advice, it's good advice, by the way. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. But yeah, that's my final thought. My final thoughts is what I told you before. When it comes to Ephesians and Hebrews, fellas, if you want that, you got to bring 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 4 through 7. That's my opinion. You know what I'm saying? That's the point of view I got. But this is the pillar that my base is made of.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But this deserves another conversation because people aren't teaching how to do things. They're just saying do this, do that, do this, do that, and then no one's telling how you do these things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what is duty?
Mm-hmm.
You have to get into more detail about it.
Yeah, that's true. It's a lot of expectation, but expectation of people to just know certain things, or just to know how to do certain things, or just to have certain traits, or just to have certain qualities, and they've never seen it, never been taught. I think, especially when it comes to relationships, I think everybody needs a lesson into how to properly communicate, because that's like one of the biggest issues across the board. People just don't know how to communicate. And that's something that I think everybody needs to take the time to actually learn and figure out how to properly communicate what it is that they want, what it is that they need. They need to take time to figure out what it is that they need, because a lot of people don't even know that. It's especially when in relationships, that's an expectation. You just expect your partner to know what you want, and you expect your partner to know what you need when you don't even know that yourself, or you've never communicated it because you don't know how to communicate. So I think that is a huge issue, communication. You know what I mean? And it's the great thing about being in these modern day times is information is so accessible. Nobody has an excuse now to not have resources. If you have a phone, and every phone has internet access now, especially smartphones. Every smartphone has internet access. All you have to do is Google. You're on YouTube. There is a tutorial on any and every subject you want to know on YouTube. Look it up. if you don't know something, you know, I have all the respect in the world for, you know, people who can go out and get the resources that they need to become the people that they want to be. But, you know, problem is most people just, most people want what they want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And don't want to do the work to make change.
That one right there.
It's comfortable with being who they are as they are. They just don't want to put in the work. So that's a problem too.
Right. So for me, self-accountability. You know what I'm saying? Self-accountability. Hold yourself accountable. And communication. Communication. Self-accountability means keep yourself in check. You're not a god. You're not an emperor. You're not a king. If you're married, you're a husband. If you're in a relationship, you're just a boyfriend. Who are you ruling? And that's not the role of a husband anyway, to rule. No. You can unmute yourself.
The police calls was going by, and that's why I muted myself.
That's right. You're in New York. I love that place. I'll be there in a few months too. But yeah, tell them to take that off. Let the Ninja Turtles have it.
No.
Okay. Okay, I'll leave it alone. But yeah, communication is key. Absolutely. As much communication as you can get out of the person, do it.
Right.
But that's our show, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes,
I hope you enjoyed it. Everyone says they did. Thank you. Thank you for my thank you to my beautiful host, my sister Shushu. And we'll be back next week with a new topic.
Right. That's right. We will.
I also have one more outro song before your outro song, Mandrell. Before you leave.
What do you got?
My name is Rosa. They say I'm supposed to sit in the back, but I'm tired here, so I'm finna sit right closer. Come get me up then. It's gonna take about 3, 4, 5 men. And I ain't finna repeat myself again. Fight me. Somebody get her. My name is Eve. I didn't believe. I trusted Satan, ate that apple, he deceived. And yeah, I'm naked. I thought I was awakened. I'm the first to do it. Y'all my daughters, we related. Trick on Big Harry. Don't call me slave hoe. The hell? From the underground railroad, bustin' down mouth of dope. When I say run, you better go. In the dark, that Glocky glow.
They give me airtime. Should I be here? Don't call me slave hoe.